Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Collegiate StarLeague Finals. My name is Crackshot. I am joined by Sully. What a wonderful weekend it's been so far of esports in the collegiate community. Lots of champions crowned, but here we are going to be crowning the CSGO champion. A bit of a build-up to this because these two teams have kind of been at each other's throats throughout the season. And I mean, as far as collegiate esports rivalries go, traditionally you'd have expected a team like UC Santa Cruz to, I mean, in the past, like, a couple ago, it was a big battle between them and the other UC schools like UC Irvine and, UC Riverside, those three schools duking it out for who's going to be the king of California, right? But now it's just been UC Santa Cruz and UCF fighting it out all year long in this tournament and other tournaments and the TikTok Cup that we saw just a couple weeks ago. I think we're in for a good final.
Looking at the prizing coming up, you can see $20,000 for the first place collegiate champions. And obviously, it's nothing meager. $10,000 for second place. I'd still be pretty happy, but everybody wants their hands on that $20,000. And UCF, well, they know they're going to have to battle hard, being already down a map coming from that lower bracket run.
Looking at the lineups here, we've got Blue Sky, Chilled Dan, Char, Rascal, and Bax representing the University of Central Florida. And on the UC Santa Cruz side, we have Fury, Johan, Sayo, Shike, and Accomplice. And we will see what maps we are playing again. This is a best-of-5 finals. Oh, this is interesting here. All right, so UCSC is going to get rid of Inferno right off the bat. I kind of like that. And then UCF doesn't like Train. So my initial looking at this, my initial impression is that why didn't UCF ban Vertigo after what happened to them in the TikTok Cup, Sully?
I think the only strange thing is that UCF decide to pick Dust 2 again. That's kind of my only main concern, is the fact that they decide, hey, let's pick Dust 2 already. They've been demolished before. Keep in mind, they played in the TikTok Cup in a best of 3 2-0 stomp. That was their map pick. Dust 2, they got demolished 16-8. I don't know if you want to call that a stomping, but the fact that that's your map pick and you're getting defeated 16-8 is a little bit concerning. So this first map, honestly, it's looking really hot for a UCF or a UCSC victory here. It could be 3-0. It could be 3-1. Who knows at this point in time? All I'm thinking is that UCF are going to have their work cut out for them. We're getting to the knife round now. Obviously, it's just a formality. This is the map pick of UCSC. So UCF Knights have elected to start on the CT side, and they need to get one hell of a start if they want to find themselves in any position to take this series. Already at a 1-0 deficit. Like I said, I keep saying it over and over. This is going to be one hell of a battle for them to win. But hey, UCSC, perhaps they've slacked off just a little bit. Like you said, UCF Knights, they have that confidence, having beaten RMU, a powerhouse in the collegiate scene. Maybe they've got something up their sleeves, but we're going to head into it as UCSC versus UCF Knights. The first map is Vertigo, as UCF elect to start on the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the way that this map veto went out, you're right. This is absolutely needs to be a win maybe for UCF, because it's looking like there's going to be a tough road ahead of them if they drop this one. Again, it was a 16-8 final the last time these two teams faced on this map in favor of UCSC. And though the scoreline didn't depict it, it did feel very one-sided, and I think you would agree with that, Sully. Here we go into the pistol round now. Looks like UCF have elected to take the T side here. Oh, Johan getting aggressive in mid is going to find one. Looking for more. He's found a second duel. Blue Sky, he wants this trade. Doesn't want to let him get away free, and Cleary will find that frag and trade it out. Mid control now belonging to the T's just for a moment in time. It's a very default pistol being run by UCF right now.
Yeah, just off the bat, they have dropped a man. Thankfully, they did get an equalizer there, so there's the silver lining, at least in this round. Shite continuing to spot over towards that A ramp. But little do they know, UCF are posted up towards the B bomb site, with the new addition of it being a much more open bomb site. So UCF Knights have got their work cut out, because UCSC, they've got a couple of players in close rotation as they do start to get it underway. Accomplice knocks out two heads quickly. Fury combines to total it up to 3. It's all on to Chilled Dan. I don't think he stands a chance in this round, because UCSC demolish any attempt of an attack as Chilled Dan does dance around the boxes. He actually might make this work. Chilled Dan so nearly is taken out at the very end by Sayo. 1-0 start for UCSC, but a nail-biting round that should have been a lot more comfortable for the CTs.
It definitely should have after accomplishing a couple of great shots there over mid boost. I like the idea of UCF to kind of play at a little bit of a default. This map is definitely one that's very sound cue heavy. So, you're basically running under the CTs for a good chunk of the round where they'll be able to hear exactly what you're doing if you're just stampeding. Kind of like what they're doing right now, as they are going to go for the save without the bomb plant. They're just going to try to pile their way up sidewalk over here and see if they can get into the bomb site.
Oh, Bax, he's
They
all
got all the way
behind him.
here.
The Glock needs to get something. Bax can't get anything. He maybe could have gotten an SMG and gone behind them all, but ultimately UCSC mopped them. That looked scary for a second there because Bax was able to get all the way behind them, run up the side, run up the construction area. But of course, UCSC were able to quickly adjust. So 2-0 start for them. No bomb plant, but still the UCF Knights have got cash to spend. Utility, not as abundant, but they do have something to play off of. Rifles, all 5 AK-47s, and UCSC, I think this time they've got their work cut out for them. The UCF Knights, strong firepower, decent sets of utilities, should be able to pose a threat in this round at the least, but we'll see what they can do because, again, this is a bonus round for the CTs. They haven't really invested too much except for the one player that did drop in the likes of Sayo, but ultimately this is just a bonus for them. Keep their economy stable, do some damage to UCF, maybe get a bomb plant or maybe deny the bomb plant as trades. The kills go back and forth. Already, though, Sayo hasn't been spotted.
No.
Lines 2 up and knocks them down like pins. Sayo annihilates the last of them as Bax is left again to do the dirty work. A 1 versus 2. He almost had the clutch in the pistol round, but this one is a little bit more doable for him as he has an AK-47 bomb on his back, but denied by accomplice. The prodigy of UCSC seals a third round and denies UCF any chances of that first round.
No, I really like the idea, Sully. They said, okay, well, look at that eco round that we just played. They just led us all the way up sidewalk and into the bomb site. So obviously their setup may not account for that sort of play. And they said, let's do it with guns. And that's never a bad idea if something works for you on an eco. Do it with more power, do it with more utility. And that's exactly what UCF tried to do. Now we're here into mid. We've got Chilled Dan and Johan exchanging frags early. Chilled Dan will recover an M4, but without armor, it's just deagles across the board. And it looks like it's just all fine over towards the A ramp right now as Sayo does find a kill onto Blue Sky. It's deagles across the board, really, for UCF without armor to really put a use to that M4. They're just going to be trying to do economic damage at this point. They don't want to be letting UCSC build up an economy along with the round count and the confidence that they've generated off these 3 rounds that they've taken early in the CSL Grand Finals here. Now, it looks like UCF is going to slow things down, maybe try to find an opening again. They'd have the deagles across the boards. They're just looking for one overextension, one little mistake. But UCSC has proven time and time again that they're not exactly a team that does that. Like, each player is very competent. They're comfortable in multiple positions, but they definitely know how to move around a map like Vertigo. They've shown that there's a reason why they picked this map. And now over towards the B's site, the T's have been spotted. UCF, the jig is up. They've got to just commit into this bomb site now and hope that they can find some work to do with these deagles. They've got one flashbang on Rascal. It won't be thrown. He'll actually fall with it as Accomplice finds a nice 3-piece to close out the round. 4-0 for UCSC.
Oh, it's getting a little bit choppy now for the Knights. Obviously, it wasn't the best of rounds for them to go into. They didn't have a lot of weaponry. They didn't have a lot of utility. Now, no excuses whatsoever. 2 ops on the playing field. 1 for the CTs and 1, of course, for the attacking team. What have they got in store for us? Utility? I mean, Char is the only one that's really lacking anything. Everyone else is getting an abundance. I think Chill Dan accidentally just knifed his teammate in Blue Sky, so already off to a rocky start, but hopefully UCF Knights can easily recover. 4 AKs and an op to play with, and they're starting to slowly but surely advance up the ramp. Shike peers in below them through the smoke. It blocks his vision, but now he drops a Molotov. He's just going to try and delay and hold this with his teammate as Sayo does get in position to do some damage as well. They're trying to double up over towards the curtains or the construction side as Bax is going to try and work his magic. He's been deadly in this position before, but he slowed down due to the fact that he doesn't have a lot of utility now to play with. UCF Knights bottlenecked over towards ramp as UCSC sit comfortably on that A-bomb site.
5-on-5 here, and the only damage dealt to Blue Sky. Obviously, the default over toward ramp, it is going to render 1 trade. We've got Shike and Chilled Dan. Chilled Dan, he was the star on this map last time for UCF, but it wasn't enough to get them over the hump, and he's looking for another trade here. Shike has been a menace over towards the sidewalk, now covering the position that was once open for Santa Cruz. He's shutting the door on the UCF Knights here as Chilled Dan looking to maybe move up that sidewalk position. I think that's what he wants to do. He's looking for him. He's heard the sound cue for sure. There are two players here looking to double swing this. Chilled Dan hits the first, the other choosing not to swing, heads back. They're being split in mid. Char, he's looking for the rotation, looking to catch the player on boost, and he will. Sayo, an accomplice, already over towards the A side. It's a 2-on-2. Char and Rascal trying to pinch these guys off for the first round, and they will be successful in that endeavor.
Ooh, very clean from UCSC. Very clean from UCSC, but ultimately UCF Knights, they got it. It was a nice overpowering take onto that bomb site, but in this round, can they get it done again, though? UCSC, the money is not there whatsoever. They're struggling. They really don't have much to play with. Fury's even relegated to just a USB. I didn't expect that, no. Thankfully, he does upgrade to a Deagle, so he has something to play with, but everyone else in UCSC, they're low for cash. They're hard to push now as UCF Knights. They get ready themselves. They're stable at the moment as UCSC up against it. 5 AK-47s to the side of the Knights, and UCSC, we'll see what they have in store for us. The CTs are gonna be hard to press for this round. I mean, utility is very minimal. No Molotovs. I feel like that was a key component of really any of their success on these bomb sites. Any success that they had was due to the fact that they could drop a Molotov, they could delay, they could hold back the Knights for the time being. But with no Molotovs, and they have to rely on those smokes and those HEs, I'm not sure they really have it in for them. Fury posted up towards the pit, however, has got his deagle, hoping that someone walks into it, but the Knights, they love this A bomb site. Shike is going to go for a huge play here. There's an opening. That's what they need. Fall away from this site. Get one kill. Keep yourself alive as Accomplice looks to get another towards middle. It's falling apart here for the Knights. Char goes down here. Chilled Dan does get an equalizer. He was the man, the myth, the legend of the last time these two teams met, and he has to go huge once more. Backs does pick up the bomb here to allow UCF Knights some room to work with, but UCSC still, they sit pretty darn comfortably with the FAMAS and Johan starting to work its way around here. I think Bax has an inkling as there's a player behind him. He's posted up behind with the AK at the bridge, and he should get this kill to give them the cue to go towards the A-bombs. Like, there it is, and now they're going to start to unleash the smokes, unleash whatever utility they have to work their way and finalize the round onto this A-bomb site.
Well, Chilled Dan's going to open up the action into the bomb site. Sayo does take down Bax, though. They've recovered the bomb. Rascal's going to plant it as Chilled Dan covers them. It's just Fury. It was the B-side anchor there. He will recover a rifle on his way into the bomb site, but Rascal, he might have heard this. He's looking for him on the flank, and oh no, doesn't even hit the spray. He hits a big whiffer there. That's one you probably got to have because Fury, and that's given him a door back into the round. They're doubling up over towards that long side. There's no kit to work with, but the T's might not know that. Fury might be able to bait this out. Always taking a ton of damage from Chilled Dan there. Smoke isn't going to matter. The smoke does not block bullets, and UCF will find a second round. UCSC, they had made a couple of great adaptations at that point in the round. Accomplice peeking into mid, taking down the lurking Char. And that lurk of Char in their previous round win was a huge reason why that was made possible. So the adaptations were there. Shike over towards the sandbags, getting flashed out by his teammate. I love what I'm seeing from UCSC, but UCF are showing us why they're a powerful collegiate team. They just have so much firepower across the board. When they're able to get you into these 1v1 engagements and just taking the 1v1 duels, that is where they're going to have a ton of success. They're able to just win those duels on their skill alone, and across the board, their chemistry allows them to just accelerate on the snap of a finger, and it looks like they're moving over towards this B site. They've found it free and clear. The stack has rotated over through CT spawn, though. They need to be very careful that the timing doesn't work out in the CT's favor. UCF could be walking into a trap at this point, but Blue Sky and Char, they're cleaning up these guys. Blue Sky one more through the smoke. As Johan on boost falls, Sayo and Accomplice just left with their eco pistols. Accomplice does find one. Sayo looking for one, doesn't find him. It's Bax in mid, and he'll fight both. Great spray from Bax to shut down the mid players. They do take one casualty, but it was just the MAC-10 of Char. It was a great round from UCF.
Yep, the money, it's slowly but surely starting to build up for these boys as well. UCF Knights, they're sitting comfortably at 7.8K for Rascal. Blue Sky's got 3.3, not even to mention the other 3 players or so. But Shike, ooh, he goes huge alongside Accomplice. They've combined for a double there as Backstill's going to trade back here. But again, you talked about the firepower. UCF, they go down 2 players, but instantly they trade it back to take 3 away as Accomplice does do some more damage here. He has a second kill in this round as UCF Knights will secure the bomb plant. They're hoping for this equalizer as UCSC ready themselves for the retake. There's no kit available. This is another problem that they have. Time is of the essence, and time is definitely not on their side at the moment. Rascal's in perfect position to combine with Blue Sky to hold on to it as Blue Sky so close just around the edge of the boxes. Dances and finds himself a kill there. Blue Sky annihilates the final 2 players, and UCF tied up 4-4. UCSC, a powerhouse against UCF Knights and Vertigo, but right now they are struggling to find their footing.
Right now, it's been UCF for the last 4 rounds in a row, and I mean, it is back and forth for sure between these 2 teams. But UCF, it looks at the start of this game, I was going to say, oh no, it's going to happen again. They let it go to Vertigo, and we know what UCSC could do. But UCF, they seem to have another idea here. They've got something up their sleeve. Chilled Dan doesn't like what he sees with that Deagle swinging up along the side, and they'll head back over towards potentially the other bomb site. Char's already made his way all the way up to B. Has he spotted the edge of Fury there? That's the question. I don't think he spotted him. Fury does take down Blue Sky. Rascal draining Shike as Chilled Den falls. Char up close will use his nade to take down Fury. It's still even 3-on-3, but this is far dicier than what one might have expected out of this round. Finally, UCF get a hold of things, and they'll head over towards that B-bomb site, which is open for business, as Sayo likely going to try to recover one of these rifles. And this would be a great time if I was UCSC for like a tactical pause, just to say, hey guys, let's keep our heads in the game here. You know, we do have that 1 map advantage, but we still can't get lackadaisical here on our CT side.
100%. UCSC, this is a point in time where you need to just stop the momentum of the Knights here. I mean, they've got 5 rounds accumulated in a row, assuming that this round doesn't go awry. But UCSC, 4-5, they'll concede the lead to the Knights, and yeah, this is perfect tack pause territory. If the Knights continue the streak that they're on, especially on their T side, it's going to be one type of ride there for the UCSC boys. But for now, 5-4, the UCF Knights. Strong start, I'm not going to lie. We both mentioned is that we didn't expect it to be this even at the moment. Obviously, at the very beginning, when it was 4-0, I didn't expect the UCF Knights to bring it back 4-4 in such quick and dominant fashion. But here we are, 5-4 now. They've taken the lead, and they're starting to put 2 and 2 together. They're reading UCSC like a book. They know the mistakes that they made the last time they played them in Vertigo, and they're ensuring that they don't make those same mistakes, as UCSC will have a bye here. An op picked up for Johan, and everyone else will situate themselves with an M4 or the A1S.
Well, finally back on full rifles across the board is UCSC. They do have all the utility that they could need in this round. They've got some kits, which kind of came back to bite them in a couple of scenarios so far. So finally rounding out the money. Shike's going to throw some control nades over towards that A ramp, and it looks like information gained from UCSC. They've already rotated a player off of A now that they've taken control of ramp. But the boost, Chilled Den takes down Accomplice, and he's been one of the best players so far for UCSC. Him to fall early in that anchor position in mid. Now, the new changes to Vertigo, they make that mid position so much more important than it used to be. It used to just be, we're going A or we're going B. There was 2 choices, really, and mid was just for lurking. But now controlling mid allows you to split into that B bomb site. It puts a lot of pressure on the A players to push further down into ramp. It's just far more important with the changes that have been made. But coming through the smoke, that's Shike and Fury combining for 2. Shike with a great spray transfer. He's dropped the bomb in mid, and there's no one there to grab it. Both of the players are over towards the B site. It's up to Bax and Rascal to fight their way from this position, but Sayo, Johan, and Shike, they're content to sit around the bomb, set up crossfires, and make this as difficult as possible for the UCF Knights.
Oh, it surely isn't looking pretty. 2 AKs left, a Molotov between the 2 of them. I don't think they can pull this one off. UCSC, Johan especially, just holding with that AWP as Shike positions himself in towards the middle, watches the jump up, and he's heard the sound cue, but Rascal isn't too keen to just take an initial peek. That smoke might give him something to work with. That Molotov hasn't done much for him. Aseo right beneath him. It's now up to Rascal, and Rascal alone can't do it. 5-5, UCSC strike right back with a round of their own, and they keep this one darn close. It's 5-5. The buy is still abundant, or is still available for the UCF Knights. Plenty of cash to spread amongst the players, and UCSC still sitting tight with that one AWP and the rest with M4s and rifles, as UCF Knights with only 5 AK-47s. No op this time around. That round looked a lot more confident from UCSC and UCF Knights. Hopefully they've made a read on them, figured something out. I mean, that risky push through the smoke from Shike was phenomenal. The fact that he gets a double there, holds the spray to catch the AWP player from Chilled Dan. It does so much damage in that position. And Rascal takes the first peek through the smoke, pinpoints his location, even spots a second above the smoke. And UCSC, they've dropped the player early on. They could have dropped the second, but thankfully Rascal has his mercies. It's 5-5. Might just be 6-5 in favor of UCF, just based on the way things are going. A third kill to be had from middle. Char annihilates Johan, drops him without a second thought. Iseo does manage to get a singular kill, but again, UCF Knights, they've got full control in this round. Its Accomplice does manage another kill here. It's a 2 versus 3, and not entirely out of the question here for the CTs.
No, so they're close enough right now that if they get a pick, this is definitely doable. I mean, Seo's still pretty far removed from this, but Accomplice has already moved himself up close with the AWP, so just a slip of the key would be enough for him to find a pick. Bax gets really close, though. He gets right up in his face. He might not have expected that angle. Bax even sees the last one. That's Seo, and he's dealt a ton of to him. Seo's basically left out of the question here. He realizes at 12 HP and having to break into that B bomb site is going to be very difficult. With the way that has been opened up now, you have to expose yourself to so many different angles at once that 12 HP is just not enough to get the job done. And so UCF back on top. They'll find a 6th round here on the T side. And that was a great choice of them to start on the T side. Of course, this being UCSC's pick, UCF did get to choose which side they start on. They chose to start T. And I mean, yeah, this is probably still a bit of a T-sided map. It's tough to say. I mean, I'm always of the school of thought, Sully, that CS has just kind of become a T-sided game, just with the way the economy works. It's very hard to defend certain things and certain plays across the map pool. I mean, of course, you still got maps like Train, maps like Nuke that are just like inherently built to favor the CT side. But even so, a map like this definitely being played the way UCF plays is definitely playing into their favor at this point.
Yeah, they're playing the map perfectly right now, and they really have done their research from the last time we saw them play against UCSC on this map, and props to them. Will it be enough to get them over the line? I don't know about that one, because UCSC, you mentioned that this is an attacking-sided map, so once the defenders switch it out, once UCSC get to that attacking side, that's when it gets a little bit more difficult. But for now, UCF Knights taking things a little bit more slow. Normally we see a pick, a kill or two in the feed in the first opening 30 or so seconds, but this time it's taking a little bit longer. UCF Knights taking their sweet time in towards middle as Johan plucks one off as Bax falls down the stairwell, takes a tumble as he goes down. The first player to fall already in the UCF Knights side in a 4-on-5. Utilities running low as well here. 2 smokes and 2 Molotovs. All that UCF have to do is Accomplice takes down another UCF Knights. Perhaps this slow tempo, it isn't meant for them. Now they're starting to accelerate onto this A bomb, so getting themselves up the A ramp. It leaves Accomplice to his own. He's got players rotating in to help him, but can he deal the damage? He certainly can with another kill. Might tally it up to 3. He runs out of bullets, and that's the saving grace of Blue Sky as Rascal chimes in with another. But again, it's decimation across this A bomb site, annihilation even, and 6-6. Again, this matchup is back and forth. A tug of war we continue as UCSC find themselves the equalizer once more.
And the rivalry grows stronger with each round here. Of course, $20,000 on the line for the winner. And that is no small chunk of change. Now, I'm very impressed with Accomplice, the new kid on the block for UCSC. The confidence is there. You could see him he gets the first kill, continues to move around the map very calmly over towards sidewalk. Johan, he's getting very aggressive, and he'll take down Blue Sky. The fast play towards A, the change of pace is not going to be successful for the UCF Knights. Johan still holding the sidewalk position. Chilled Dan entertaining the thought of peeking him, but Bax, he's already over towards the B side. He's in front of the smoke. Bax explodes out into the B side and has opened up a whole other avenue of attack for UCF, and that's going to keep UCSC guessing. They have 3 players here over on the A bomb side, and just now they've drawn a rotation out. Bax again. Bax has been absolutely massive for the UCF Knights, and he can get right up close. He loves this position. I mean, heck, we might as well start calling it Bax. What do you call this?
I may as well just start calling it Bax, but Bax does go down in Bax's position as UCF Knights Just as soon as they had 2 players down on the UCS side, they're down 4 players themselves. Rascal left alone now in the clutch. A 1 versus 3. Can he get it done? He surely can with his skill, his raw talent, but I think he's outnumbered here, and it's out of his pay grade. 7-6 UCSC, 1 round away from taking the half, 8-7, but they do have the lead finally once more. It's been so long since they last had it. From that 4-0 start, now it's 7-6. They have it back in their favor. And the UCF Knights' money is, well, it's kind of gone at this point in time. They'll occupy themselves with some pistols. They'll play for that last round of this half. And UCSC, they should have their 8th here. It's almost guaranteed at this point, just looking at the lineup, looking at the utility, looking at the firepower. It's very minimal. It's a nominal buy, if you will call it that, from the UCF Knights. A Shike back where Johan played last round was in. He only manages to get 1, so maybe it's a mirror. As Sayo lines 2 players up, knocks him down in the flames, the Fury, and he's on fire at the moment. He looks to get the 3rd kill, and he will. Sayo knocks Char down, and they burn to a crisp as 8-6 UCSC have sealed the deal. They've taken this first half, and now it's all about getting this 9th round to give yourself a stellar start transition to that attacking side.
It's the Sayo and Accomplice show for UCSC right now. Accomplice kind of moving around the map. He's been kind of the mid-anchor, but Sayo has been absolutely shut down towards that A site. The former Triumph Gaming member is doing wonders for UCSC. Love watching him play. Love seeing him go off like this. UCF, though, they haven't had a horrible half, and they've got a chance to add to it here. I mean, an 8-7 finish, that's already 1 round away from the total rounds that you were able to get the last time you played this team on this map. So adjustments have been made, and Chilled Dan, he's out wide. I don't think Sayo was quite expecting that angle from Chilled Dan. Chilled Dan catching him off, and that'll open up the door to an A-side attack. That pick should send UCF into an execute here, but they're delaying on the ramp. They're hoping they can burn off some of the utility of the CTs. They've waited that flash. They knew it was coming. This is great discipline from UCF, and Rascal, 1 more. Fury does get one over towards the B side as he wins that duel with Bax, and a seldom opportunity over towards the B site. This should be a 7th round for UCF. Very well played from the Knights this series. I have a feeling it could go the distance.
Oh, it's going to be a long night then, but hey, Chilled Dan takes down the last 8-7. Like you said, this could definitely go the distance just based on this first half. I mean, I'm comparing the first best of 3 that UCF Knights had against UCSC, and you can just see the massive amounts of improvement. I mean, UCF Knights are playing out of their mind right now. UCSC, they've got a hard battle ahead of them. I mean, now they're on the attacking side. They stand a chance. You mentioned Vertigo is definitely an attacking side of the map, so definitely there's a chance that UCSC can seal the deal here as the attacking team. But hey, UCF Knights, if anything's to go based off that first half, they have got something to tell us on this defending side. We'll see what they have in store. It is a halftime break, and in the meantime, while we have this halftime break, why don't you guys go ahead, type in the chat !CSL Finals 20 if you want a chance to win one of the 10 HyperX Alpha S headsets, which not only I am wearing, but my co-caster Crack is wearing. So it's been one heck of a day, and hopefully you guys can get something out of the giveaway. Make sure you type !CSL Finals 20 in the chat. But back to the game, this second half, what do UCF have to do to take this first map off of UCSC?
Well, UCF is going to, I mean, it would go a long way to win this pistol. It's not that important necessarily. With the game being this close, it doesn't really, have as much an effect on the potential score line. But the pistol could go a really long way. And I'd like to see UCF play very explosive on their CT side here. Over towards mid Rascal. He's going to fall off towards that B-bomb site. There are only 2 players here. Blue Sky, he's going to spot one. He's caught Shike out. And Bax does get one as he fades away in towards mid. A nice one from Rascal. He's dinked up, dancing around the default box. Bax coming in on the flag, and that'll be a clean pistol from UCF. Again, it just looks like they've adapted so much, and that's so good to see because they did not show us their best hand on the last time we saw them play Vertigo. But Sully, I mean, you have to agree here. They look so much more confident. They look like they went back and they watched that demo and they were like, okay, here's how we can improve. And they're implementing a lot of steps for that. Their rotations on point. Their team fighting in mid there. I was so good to realize, okay, they're pushing mid. Let's get 3 guys in there.
That nade could be huge. It doesn't do a lot, but hey, any chip damage is enough. Blue Sky, I'm curious to see if he just decides to hack it. I'm just gonna jump it over the paneling and just spray them all down, but he's got a little bit of discipline in him. He holds back, bites his tongue as UCSC 5 deagles in this round. UCF, they look so confident nowadays. I mean, they're playing out of this world right now against UCSC, a team that we expected to demolish them just based off of past results. I mean, they've lost to UCSC twice now in 2 best of 3s. It's been 4-1 if you count all best of 3s together. And I mean, UCF, they're doing a phenomenal job right now contesting. Fury, though, opens things up down towards middle. Char repositions with his MP9. He's hoping to pop some heads off, and he will. He takes down the bomb as well. Bomb drop leaves it up to Shike and Fury. I don't think he knows that Shike is in the smoke, however, and that does cause his demise. Shike plucks another one off here, but again, he's left alone in an impossible 1 versus 3 as Blue Sky mows him down with the MP9 to give UCF back the lead. 9-8 they stand, and they're standing really strong at the moment, taking the pistol and then the one preceding that.
Well, the lead has been changing back and forth here, and this buy is going to be a little bit wonky for UCF. They will have to maintain a couple of SMGs. Chill Dan going to stick onto that UMP and the MP9 of Blue Sky as well into this round. It is AKs across the board for UCSC, but they've paid the price for that in terms of utility. They've got a single smoke and a single flash. This is going to be one explosive play somewhere, and then it's going to be the rifles to do the work. UCF can delay that hit, though. They've got a ton of utility on their buy, so using these SMGs up close, especially here on a map like Vertigo, isn't going to be horrible. I mean, the position that Blue Sky's playing right now, he can get up close, get info, fall back, and there's lots of different places that he can hide up close to that MP9 and be as annoying as possible. So I do like UCF's chances at this point, although UCSC would seem to have the advantage in firepower at this moment in time.
Oh, but this boost could be a little bit curious. Bax, I don't think you can see fully, and he does drop off of it. He didn't want to jump up and have his head top taken off. So UCSC, a slow start for them. A very, very odd quiet, or a very odd silence is spread throughout the map at this point in time. I mean, normally it's just shots being rung out left, right, and center, but it's eerily quiet, I should say. His Bax rings out a couple of shots, and even rings the sound of death. Takes down Fury. Lovely shot from him. Blue Sky, though, has got his work cut out for him. He obviously is reinforced by Rascal, but it'll basically a 1 versus 3 position. Almost a 1 and done, but he still manages 1. He won't get the second, so it is technically 1 and done, but he's done a phenomenal job just delaying it and holding it back. And the firepower might be what brings UCSC back into this fight. And a 2 versus 3, Shike tosses a flashbang on over, swings out wide. That's when he needs 1 bullet, plenty of time to reload. Back's in the back of the site now, has to deal the damage. He swings out wide, but can't get the kill. Chill Dan with a UMP to left to do it all. Picks up the M4 off of his dead teammate's body. There's just barely enough time. He taps the bomb. Yohan tries to fake it, but Chill Dan cooling himself off with the towel will give UCF double digits as UCSC no money to buy into this round. UCF Knights are looking confident and poised to take this first round just based on the way they're playing at this point in time.
Now that is some huge stuff from UCF there. That was a dicey round, but Chill Den coming in with that UMP. I mean, enough damage had been done to those players on UCSC that there wasn't much they were going to be able to do. Shike had done a ton of heavy lifting there, and he's going to go with the hero AK on this buy. So UCSC, they've got something in mind, and I mean, with the bomb plant, they would technically be able to buy next round across the board, including Shike. So I don't mind the idea of having one guy getting an AK here, and the trade onto Bax is going to open things up towards the A site. He's been the pillar of this A site defense so far in this half for UCF, so to take him down, that's going to leave the rest of UCF guessing. Maybe some information plays. There's a player over towards middle currently. That's Rascal, who's exploring for information while Char and Chill Dan hold this crossfire, and they've allowed complete ramp control to the T side. There's not a lot of utility to work with, though. They can't smoke anything off, so when UCSC decide to go, it's got to be all at once.
The spring is loaded, and they're ready to unleash the fury. UCF Knights, they don't even know what's about to hit them. UCSC, they hold just a little bit. What a boost. What is this boost? Does it actually spawn? I think it's a triple boost. I think. Oh, no way. Yep. Don't tell me it spots a player in the back. They can just barely see it. Char, he makes one wrong step. It's over. Chill Dan, though, he decides to investigate it. Thankfully, he does it at the perfect moment. Yes, the trades go back here. Shike, he does get the kill back to make it a 2 versus 2. But Rascal, you talked about his investigation towards the middle, but now he's back to deal some damage. And 11-8, he's done it all. Rascal annihilates the last 2 players. 11-8, UCF Knights. 3 rounds ahead of the competition at UCSC. It's a buy, but again, it's getting shaky with their money. Every round we progress, the confidence starts to slowly diminish.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really been able to get a lot done. Shike, again, like I said, he'll be able to buy this AK, and that'll be fine for him. No utility across the board. But they're going to need something here, and I think they need to maybe consider changing the pace a little bit on UCF and trying to flex their gun skill a little bit more. It seems like they are playing a little bit more afraid than they were the last time we saw them on this map. And I mean, deservedly so. UCF has shown us many different looks on the CT side, just like this one here. They're going for the double peek. Childan gets the first and falls away free and clear of the trade, but Bax, he gets cut out. He was trying to throw a nade. There's no chance for him to escape. Childan's up close. He's on default, and he's even going to have trouble getting out here. He's going to toss a smoke in, allow himself to retreat, but in doing so, he's given a potential plant to UCSC. They can just kind of run up to this site and plant. There's a one-way on the box, though. Childan, he's going to take down Johan. Oh, no, the smoke's not helping UCSC out very much. Childan is going off, but Shike, he'll take one. Sayo makes it a 2-on-2, looking for more. Blue Sky on the trade, back and forth is this round. Rascal looks to jump up and trade out this final player, UCF. The communication is solid, and it's enough to get the job done.
Dan was basically the man to get the job done. I'm amazed that he survived all of that. I mean, the little one-way through the smokes were not there for the side of the UCSC. And finally, we have attack pause. I'm assuming this has to be from the UCSC side. If it isn't, I'd be a tad bit concerned. UCF Knights, Childan is an absolute menace. He's basically been UCF's golden boy. He's been the reason why they even stood a chance or had a chance against UCSC in their last couple of best of 3 series. And in the best of 5, in what matters most, when $20,000 are on the line, he's pulling up and he's going big, 22 and 14. This man is leading the server in kills. He's popping off right now, and UCSC, they need to find a way to counter this AWP, even on that attacking side. When Childan, he had that up. When he even had an AK-47, he was an absolute threat to the side of UCSC, and they just haven't found a way to keep him out of the match. They haven't found a way to neutralize him, and that's their big downfall. You take out Childan, and you stand a chance in the round. But right now, with Childan alive, I'd bet everything that Childan will basically turn the round on its head. Already a slight tag, but thankfully Char, he does get the kill, plucks out Sayo. As a trade does go back, Blue Sky will fall, but Char, he's getting a little bit aggressive. He hears the players push, and it doesn't phase him one bit at all because he still manages the kill. It's a 3 versus 2, and Char, he does make base here. A team kill in the mix here, but surprisingly a 1 versus 1. Despite all the confusion and all the mayhem, UCSC have come out with a 1 versus 1, and it's all onto Childan. And when Childan's on the server, you'd imagine that he's going to close this one out. Up against an AK, 42 points of HP. He could pick up an M4 and end this one, but he is going to stick to the op for now.
Shike was just looking for the bomb in the smoke there. Couldn't quite figure out where it was. He will finally grab it and fall away. He's got a full minute to work with. So the fact that he's throwing the smoke over here, he's probably realizes, okay, I've definitely at least pulled the attention and continue to keep the attention on the site that we were attacking in the first place. But he's just hightailing it over towards A right now. Or he's actually going to move up through mid, it looks like. This is actually interesting. A lot of players might just go towards the other bomb site, but I really like the idea to go through mid because the timing is going to see Childan, you know, at some point he's going to second guess and say, okay, maybe he is going A, and Shike might be able to catch him on the rotation. So he's almost doubling his chances at this point by going through middle, and he's actually rotating through spawn. This is definitely doable. Childan, at what point is he going to turn around? That's the, okay, here it is. Oh, I love this. The head games.
Who's smarter? Who's got the
bigger brain? These are 2 melon brains right here. 2 melon brains.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we were Shike 400 IQ play, but clearly Dan's got a 401 IQ play. That's heads up from Dan right there. I didn't in all my time of casting Counter-Strike, I don't think I've ever seen a player turn around and be prepared for the flank. If I'm Childan, I'm thinking, God dang it, he's already on the A bomb, so I'm gonna put my outplay, pull my knife, and I run. But that's such a heads up play from Childan. Man, I can't believe that he pulls out the 1v1 like that. That's insane. UCSC were kicking themselves for dropping that round. Shike will open us up with 1, continuing that aggression, not relenting whatsoever. He wants to take down Blue Sky, but the Molotovs and the smokes will keep him at bay for the time being. UCSC, however, all 5 players now slowly but surely starting to group up to take the B bomb. So with 2 players still standing, it's all into the shoulders of Blue Sky and Rascal. Bax investigating towards middle, doesn't spot anything as Blue Sky, first player to go down, or the second player, I should say, on this B bomb site, as the 3rd player to fall is Rascal. UCSC have full control over this B bomb site. Bax is going to try and do something, but the flank from Fury towards middle is going to be his demise, as now 1 versus 3. Childan, yes, he's a man on a mission, but this mission is basically impossible. Mission impossible enough to accomplish. He might just want to save the op due to the fact that the money on UCF Knights is not looking too pretty.
It's not, and I don't. Yeah, I don't really agree with the idea to go for it here. I think he's just kind of hoping somebody gifts him a kill, and he can continue to whittle the economy of his opponent. Because right now, the economic battle it wages on between these two teams, despite the 5-round separation that UCF has created, about to be a 4-round separation. Both teams are kind of in the dumpster in terms of money, and this round with 3 alive is going to definitely bolster UCSC. That'll give them at least a couple of buys in the bank after they rebuy guns here, and it's going to have to be a force buy from UCF. They've got multiple players in double save territory. This is not going to bode well for them. I mean, or their lead, really. This is going to be a big chance for UCSC to get back in the game in terms of round count. They should take this round. It'll have to be a full save on the next. Yeah, I mean, this could get them to 11 rounds right here. Then that round alone, the explosiveness over towards the B site, the misstep from Char, the chances taken by the individual duels to take down Blue Sky. Yeah, there's a lot going into that last round, and that's going to definitely play out here in terms of the story of this map.
The money does be everything. Rascal, just peering above the smoke, takes the head off a shite, clean off his shoulders. Chill, Dan. It's rounds like this that I get a little bit worried. UCSC playing so slow against the Pistols, giving them so much map control. It gets a little bit dicey here, but thankfully the firepower might be able to bail them out. No, Blue Sky, he's picked up an AK as well, a full-blind player. It's Ayo. Oh no, it's falling apart here. It's on the Johan. Or Johan, I should say, because yo, Chill Dan's above the smoke and takes him down with the op 14-9. A dicey round for UCF Knights turns into a miracle 14-9. The money wages on, the money wars wage on is UCSC. This could be one of their final buys of this map. And UCF Knights, what a story, what a headline they would have made to take this first map in such dominant fashion, 14-9. And they're looking for that map point at the moment.
And UCF is a lot like a freight train, Sully. Once they get going, it's definitely hard to stop them the faster that they go and the more momentum they generate. Chilled Dan still feeling it, going wide on the off angle at long. Bax is up close. He's on the boost position, does spot one, will get down and take down Accomplice, who was just trying to hop up. The trade is there. 15 rounds will go the way of UCF as Blue Sky finds the final frag, and that decimates the cash on the side of UCSC in terms of putting together a truly complete buy here. I mean, you see Accomplice has gone without the head armor. It's attack pause coming in here from UCSC likely, as they're going to try to figure out what they want to do with their final hurrah, if you will, on their map choice. And this is going into Overpass, of course, which is UCF's map choice. So this is definitely starting to look like UCF has a great chance to go up in the series following that map. And we could have a long one in front of us for the grand finals here. Again, guys, make sure you type in !CSL Finals 20 in the chat. Make sure you guys check out hyperx.com, and they have a student discount for you guys if you're looking to pick up some new peripherals or hardware. HyperX is the place to do it. We thank them very much for their sponsorship of this event. And here we go, Sully, the final round. Potentially. I shouldn't say that. I might have cursed it. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Now we're going to go to overtime. Here. Oh, UCSC. This is where the comeback happens. 6 rounds in a row to make it. A fast A ramp play denied by the Molotov to slow them down just a tad bit. They need as well significant or minimal amount of damage. Okay, that Molotov is burning Accomplice up. He's getting a little bit way too cozy as he's dropped down to 50.2 points of HP. A very timely Molotov from Char as well. That's just going to slow them down even further. UCSC, they're stuck here. It's almost like they've walked into the trap that UCF has set up for them as they ready themselves to take this site. Again, utility is minimal. Firepower even more so as Bax takes down the first. Fury the first to fall as UCSC boosted up. Bax takes another life. Chill Dan. They make it 4 kills. They make it look so darn easy. 3 headshots and 3 kills. The 4th is tallied by Rascal, and it is indeed the last round of this map. 16-9. Dominant fashion from UCSC. Did not expect that on Vertigo whatsoever.
Well, that is a crazy first map, Sully, and we're very happy to have been able to witness that. It is a 1-2-1. It looks like we're going to be getting into the game momentarily. Hopefully we have as many of the issues as resolved as possible. We did our best for you guys between maps there to try to fix the audio up for you guys, and hopefully this will be a little bit better for everybody watching. Again, we appreciate each and every one of you guys joining in today for the Collegiate StarLeague Grand Finals in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. !CSL Finals 20 in the chat to get entered in a giveaway to win a HyperX Alpha S headset. You guys get a chance to do that. And of course, HyperX does offer a 15% discount to students. So definitely check that out if you're in the market for some new HyperX gear. And it looks like we are going to be getting underway here. UCF taking T side as UCSC has selected CT here. We'll see what UCF pulls out. Char going to be the man with the nades, as is tradition for these guys. And Seo, he's gone with the double flash kit. Usually you see a smoke with that kit, but they might have something in mind here. Maybe they're going to flash for the monster peak. That seems to be the idea. They flashed for the monster peak. Char spotted one set of feet. That's going to be Fury crossing over there. Shike's also holding the angle, and he kind of wants to go for this. He wants to push through, and he spots Char. Now Char's got a flash. Char's the one with the utility. He's on the other side of the map, and he's lost complete control of this. He's had to use his utility just to escape the onslaught of UCSC. In the meantime, UCF, they've moved their way up towards the A site that's been left a little bit under defended. There's only one player here, and he's on dice. This is a tough position to be in as Johan gets caught out. Accomplice coming to his aid, but is it too little too late? UCF, they should have the front of sight here to plant, as now the bomb makes its way to default. The bomb should go down. Rascal gets a good shot off. This is looking very good for UCF at this point. They're trying to catch up on that flanking player. Seo takes down Bax. They want to get Bank and Blue Sky with 2. He's going to tap, take 2. And that's going to be bank control given to UCF. He'll go for one more. Blue Sky, the long-standing veteran member of this team, the rock of UCF, the glue that holds the armor together of the Knights. Oh, they didn't even play it. They went down to B. What? Oh, that's kind of BM almost.
This round, it was so perfectly played by UCF as well. Fury is going to try unleash hell amongst Earth, but no. UCF Knights, that was exceptionally well played. UCSC they were cut out. I mean, Char, you were talking about, he's barely evaded death over towards Monster, but the thing is, UCSC, all of them were basically almost in full rotation. I mean, everybody was backing away from that A bomb, so to give UCF just free range over middle, towards bathrooms, towards long. They could go anywhere. They had almost full control of that A bomb site by the time they realized, oh snap, UCSC, we have to rotate around. We've got to get it going. But now this nade stack could be very catastrophic. Hopefully it doesn't take down everybody on UCF. It hasn't done a lot of damage, not enough actually, as UCSC will just situate themselves with only USPs now. Blue Sky, Rascal, and Chill Dan, and even a second from Chill Dan will mow them all down. One casualty, not too big of a deal, as UCF take the second round in a matter of seconds.
UCF very clean again. Like I said, they have a huge repertoire on overpass. They've definitely got an identity to the game that they play on this map, and their defaults are very fleshed out. They go to this map more often than not. They've gone to it in ESEA advanced map across the board. You know, last ESEA advanced season they went 2-2 in playoffs, and that was without even having time to really run scrims in the same manner that other advanced teams were able to because of their collegiate CS obligations. Just the amount of Counter-Strike they were playing was enough to get them that far. And you gotta wonder, now that they've had a little bit of time to hash themselves out before these grand finals, they've got money in their eyes at this point. They want that $20,000 grand prize in these finals, and it looks like they're just going to, no hesitation, head over towards the B site. They know there won't be a lot of utility to stop this. It's going to be Blue Sky with the entry. Chill Dan falls, Backs with the Mac 10. Rascal coming up to try to assist, and Accomplice falls. Shike, he's in the smoke, and he's been spotted, and he'll be taken down by Rascal. Johan falls. UCF covers every angle in the site. Things get a bit dicey. UCSC trying to get creative in those smokes, but UCF continuing on the rampage that was started towards the end of the first half of the last map. Now they've got themselves in the driver's seat here on T side overpass.
Well, already a flying start, 3-0, and it's not a close 3-0. It's a dominant 3-0 start. UCF Knights, no troubles whatsoever in that round. Wrap things up nicely with 3 players alive. The money is bolstered. Their emotions, their confidence is through the roof. UCSC, you said this was going to be a difficult map for them, and I can already see on the attacking side, UCF Knights look unbeatable at the moment. Just a scout for Seo, who has actually gotten one lovely shot into Blue Sky. Well done to him as Bax. He's going to try and do some damage here. I don't know exactly what to do. Johan has gone up the construction or gone up the connector, and there he goes. Bax takes him down. Bax away. Puts the mag back in the gun. Now he's looking. He will take down Seo. Phenomenal stuff coming out from Bax already. Opening up with 2 kills. He's already even tossed the gun out. Wait, what is this? Chill Dan?
Chill Dan got all the way into A site where nobody was paying attention.
The trade is back though. Fury gets one back of the Deagle. Chill, Dan. He does things that even I don't see. He just creeps onto his site. He's a silent ninja. He's an absolute monster as UCF Knights. 4th round for sure, unless Fury can do something incredible with his Deagle.
Well, Pika's advantage will favor Char in that exchange. Shike coming up on the flank now, and Rascal spraying away will take him down. It is now 4-0 UCF. They do take a couple of casualties there. What a way for Blue Sky to take his first death of the game with a great scout headshot from Sayo, but nothing doing from it. It's going to be UCF with 4. There's not a lot of kills across the board for UCSC. There hasn't been a lot of damage dealt. They haven't really done too much here so far to give UCF pause in what they're doing. UCF, the confidence is flowing. They're like a semi-truck trying to get stopped in an ice storm. It's tough. It's going to be a tough road for them. And Fury, he wants this fight. I don't think Blue Sky expected him to just fly through that smoke, and he'll get caught with his pants down there as he has a nade out, looking to maybe execute or throw a fake towards the B site, maybe try to bait out some grenades. That's UCF on the back foot for the first time in this map.
Yep. You said that they love to fight for that monster control. UCF Knights, they've had to give it up to the UCSC side. Bax has worked his way up towards the party, however, and maybe he's going to throw a party for UCSC. There's nobody there to walk into that reception as UCF Knights have full control temporarily towards middle. I mean, UCSC, they've backed away. Sayo's kind of up close. He's sitting just at the divider or just outside of bathrooms, hoping to make somebody's day. As UCF Knights still down a man, look to equalize. I like this idea of going in towards the connector. The flashbang will send the player on out here. The entry goes in, but Fury is ready. Hold a moment. The trades go back 2 for 3 at the moment. UCF Knights, it's not too shabby right now, but rotations from UCSC. All 3 players now arriving towards that B bomb site. Bax is going to make the first contact. He swings on in. Can he get an opening? He can't just yet. He can't even get the first. It takes him a little bit, but Johan will capitalize on the delay. 4-1. UCSC have got their first round after the 4 in a row from UCF.
But they're not out of the woods yet, Sully. You notice now that their buy is going to be a bit disjointed. One player relegated to an SMG, and Fury actually, I think, is also maybe going to go on to an SMG. No, he'll have a rifle dropped for him there. They've still got the AWP, but if UCF win this, UCSC is going to be miles behind the 8 ball in this game. Shield then puts out the molly. He wants to accelerate towards the A site. The flash is in. Shike on the boost. He turns away from the flash, but doesn't get off. That's creative right there. A lot of players would just fall off the boost as soon as they're flashed up there. And instead he doesn't. Oh, but Accomplice, he gets caught looking the wrong way. Char is going to find one back for UCF. This is absolute mayhem on this map so far. A lot of players getting surprised by other players in the server. Chilled in, now looking up towards the A-bomb site. Connector control gained by UCF. Still a minute 15 left on the clock. Shike does find one. Over towards B. Sayo and Shike now going to push into short, though. Get the information that there is nothing here, and they're actually just going to rotate both players, or at least one of these 2 players, up to the A site to assist Johan in the eventual onslaught that is going to be this 3-player execute from the Knights. Chilled Den clearing out front bathrooms before these smokes come in. It's quiet here before the storm, but there's 3 players home on the A site. UCSC has read this beautifully, and it's just going to be up to them to hit the shots at this point. There's a little bit of utility left to work with for UCF, but they need to get their guns working here. They got to take down one of these players soon. They might not realize that there's going to be 3 here, and Blue Sky through the smoke. Rascal gets one, and Chilled Den, just like that, 1, 2, 3, they fall like dominoes. UCF.
What?
Wow, that's an impressive site take right there. Yeah, that leaves me speechless. I mean, UCSC, they read that perfectly.
They were so well positioned.
Got to save.
I don't even know. UCF Knights, that was a stellar take. Oh my god. UCF Knights, you blink. I mean, this is truly, you blink and you miss it. First, I close my eyes, or I had my eyes open, and I say, okay, all 3 players are chilling. I blink, and next thing I know, all 3 players are gone, and it's just Sayo. That's unbelievable from UCF Knights. Sayo has to back away, save the AK. But my, oh my, UCF Knights are on a tear at the moment. 5-1, UCSC down by 4 rounds. I was going to say that maybe this is exactly like Vertigo, where the first, or where UCSC were up 4-0, then UCF came back 4-4, but it's nothing like that with a round like that. UCF Knights confidence again through the roof. UCSC will look to recover in this round. They've bought up, at least in the hands of Fury. Everybody else will slowly but surely start to invest their monies into big old guns, as UCF definitely have the firepower advantage, definitely have the utility advantage, and at the moment,
What is this
they've
buy?
got the tactical advantage. Buy is kind of strange, right? 2 M4s a deal and a scout.
Yeah.
You know,
Two players seem to have the save in mind, and two just kind of forcing up. This is weird stuff from UCSC. It's very disjointed. This is, again, we're only 7 rounds in, Sully, but this is what I would call tac pause territory again. You got to get your head back in the game. Remember, they started this series up at 1-0 because of coming from that upper bracket. But, mentally looking at that, it's like you might not have the same kind of confidence from that default map win that you would from actually taking a map and having to work for it. So, in their minds, it is a 1-1 series, but does it really feel that way for them? That's the question. Are they already this disjointed? And I mean, maybe I'm overreading into this buy. Shike, he wants 2, and he'll find 2. Looking for a third. Shike, he's been a monster towards monster at this point, and it's now just up to Bax and Shard to try to claw back some of the damage that was dealt by Shike. Johan falls. Bax gets 2. Bax gets 3. Looking for a 4. All of a sudden, it's a 2-on-2. Sayo on the flank, and it's Char versus Sayo. 1v1. Char realizes he can plant the bomb opposite of the pillar, but that's going to tell Sayo exactly where he is. And Sayo was holding the wrong angle. I think he was expecting him to be planning for heaven there. Sayo, 1 HP.
Oh my.
One's in the chat. Let's get ones in the chat.
1 HP separates Sayo's life and death. It separates the round. Sayo. 1 point of health, he stands. Oh my heavens. 1 HP. That's unreal. The fact that it's one more bullet, maybe a bullet aimed a tad bit higher on his body, would have taken him down. UCF Knights. Again, these rounds are so close. The past couple haven't, but that one was exceptionally 4 versus 2. And UCF, they brought it to a 1 versus 1. Unsuspecting to UCSC. It was so close. UCF now 5 AKs or 4 AKs in Gala, I should say. They have that one downgraded weapon, if you even want to call it that. I'd put it on par with the AK at this point, as solo player in Fury will be the first player to go down. He doesn't even check the pipeline, so there's a mistake already. Fury gives himself up just like that. Blue Sky will open things up already. UCF Knights and a 4-on-5. Comfortable start. Whenever they have a man advantage, they seem to be able to just steal these rounds like it's nobody's business. And even when they're down a man, they're able to recover. UCSC now 3 players positioned to make a fast rotation onto this B bomb site. Shike in the pit does get 1. He's doing the damage, but he only is able to get the first kill. Now it's up to the rest. Blue Sky and Chilled Dan combined for the 2, and now just on the Johan and Sayo. It doesn't look likely. They might just have to save here. Johan is thinking about going for it, but ultimately I think he should just back away with that AWP. Same with Sayo. Save what you have now and bring it into the next round, and you might be able to buy something up. Sayo could drop an M4 or 2 to one of his teammates. Johan will be able to save that AWP, buy utility, even drop an MP9 or something if he wants to, but UCSC should definitely be saving here.
Sayo's been spotted. He's going to fall off quickly there. The Molly's going to stave off 1, but they found him. That's the rifle gun. UCSC, they're far removed from this. Johan is probably going to be able to save the AWP, and that's barely a saving grace because UCF has gotten to 6 at this point, and they're not planning on stopping anytime soon. Johan gets 1. He's being hunted, though, and Blue Sky from the back is going to stab him with the AK. That is definitely a huge kill to take. Again, dropping both of the rifles this side of UCSC, so no save for you, and it looks like a 7th round potentially for UCF, barring a miracle from UCSC, of course. Sayo's gone with, instead of dropping pistols for his teammates, this is what one might call a hero op. You know what? I get it. Okay, go for it. You know what? You're down. You're down by 4 rounds.
Maybe. Yeah, 4. I would have liked to see it in Johan's hand, just because we've seen him with the op so many times. Okay, but Sayo's done some damage already. So a total of 176 points of damage already. Make that 276.
Oh, he dropped the bomb.
Blue Sky, the bomb down as well. Not even to mention that. 5 versus 3.
Oh no.
Bax is already down to 24, and Johan lurking around with the deagle. He's hungry to tap some heads, and he's taking off Bax's. Again, the pistols in the op, the hero op. It is the savior. Not the one they needed, but the one they deserved. UCF Knights, or I don't know how the saying goes, but UCF Knights 5-on-2. Maybe this is their time to save here. Save 2 AKs because the money for them as well isn't looking too hot at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they've gone with this very, very spread out default of individuals across the board. Maybe they misread the money situation a little bit, but UCSC's capitalized. And I mean, there's no way they could have expected that that hero op play from Sayo, but it's enough. And Sayo continuing to get aggressive. A lot of oppers might have fallen off at that position after realizing, okay, the blue sky's up on that rock. That's a tough op shot to hit. It's a nice finish from UCSC. They'll survive with all 5 alive. That'll bolster their economy further. And the bonus of winning an eco round like that is that look at the buy now. They get a crazy good buy. And this is just going to be UCF now deciding, okay, we probably got to go for the single save here. I mean, going for a buy in this situation would be a little bit odd, I think. And so they'll go with the tried and true Deagle buy that's rendered them success in the past, not necessarily in the past map, but they've had success with this. But UCSC, they're right back in the game off of the back of a hero play. And Johan taking down Blue Sky. Didn't have much to shoot at there, but he nails it. Shike looking for Char, who snuck his way out onto B. Surprised he lived that long. That was a struggle bus of a spray if I've ever seen one. Johan standing tall. Now he's starting to get the confidence going. Wants the fight with Bax, loses it. That was he was going for the confidence frag. That's what we'll say.
He wanted it. Oh, I wanted him to get the 4K as well. He had Bax to 7 points of HP. It's a little bit sad in the fact that he doesn't top it all off. The cherry on top of the Christmas cake or the Christmas fruit cake. UCF Knights, though, they've got a present under the tree, and it's in the form of a buy. They have something to work with. Full utility on Blue Sky, but that does mean he has to go down to a Galil with 4 AKs accompanied. It does look like it's just going to be a fast speed play. Straight on, zooming straight through the monsters. What can they get from it, though? First kill already. Bax opens it up. They're trading back and forth. Shike and Sayo. Oh, they annihilate the opposition. This attacking line has been put to bed, and UCF Knights wish them good night. 5-6. UCSC, a dominant 5th round there. There's nothing the Knights could do there. Nothing more they could do. Perfectly played by the CTs. And now this T side, this attacking side, is lost for words. They had such a dominant lead, and now it's just dissipated to only 1 round. Stellar stuff from the UCF Knights, but even better from UCSC.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all on the back of that hero play from Sayo too. And again, he's one of the veteran players in the roster who's had a lot of experience playing CS at a very high level. Former member of Triumph Gaming, and he's got a lot of experience playing Counter-Strike. And his aim is just next level. Johan and Fury, though, they're starting to turn up as well. Johan hitting everything in front of him, knows that Childan's up close, hits him with the no, the fade away. Shuts down Childan. UCF, they're back to the drawing board at this point. Everything that was working has no longer working. The slugs have adapted. They've evolved. And they are ready for everything that UCF is throwing at them. So the pace change not working. Childan going to go with the glass cannon and try to get an op because they realize, okay, well, the last couple of rounds we've had trouble dealing with ops, and that was kind of the end of our run of rounds here. I mean, 6 rounds on the T side, not bad on Overpass. You would consider everything top of this just to be gravy or money in the bank, right? It's not horrible. This is their map pick, though, but now they're allowing their opposition, their rivals, to gain some momentum back into this game.
All things considered, though, this isn't necessarily a wow, okay, it just took the words out of my mouth. Johan, you see a sliver of his body and he still gets a kill, but as I was saying, all things considered, this isn't necessarily a bad half from UCF Knights. 6 rounds on your T side isn't too shabby if you ask me, and this is their map pick, so you imagine they've got even more on that CT side, but already 4 versus 4, they've traded it back. Johan has retreated towards that A-bomb, so he wants to play around the boxes. It's basically Sniper's Haven here. Get some stuff ready. Could be all over. 6-6. UCF Knights 4 versus 4. UCSC. Char is looking to open it up towards the catwalk. However, maybe he's successful. He's rung out a couple of shots. He's missed them. But hey, Now we know there's a player there, UCF Knights, 4 versus 4 still, and really not a lot of commotion happening. Accomplice is in towards the pit. He's in towards the monster area, if you will. He's hoping to get something started. His back creeps his way on in, tries to jump across, but Accomplice puts him to bed once more. UCF Knights might drop another player here as well, as Char's been spotted out, and it's not looking too pretty at the moment for the UCF Knights. They're stuck with only 30 seconds left. They've got to get a run on. They've got to get a move on, and it does look like that move is going towards an A-bomb site. Fury's left alone to hold this one off, as now Johan starts to make the rotation, but 19 seconds left. UCF Knights, you got to get going now, my friends. 15 seconds left. Chill Dance crept onto the site here, but what can he do? Char trades it back, thankfully, as Johan does get one. The time is of the essence. Char manages another. He's forced to tap the bomb. He can't win the fights. There's no time left, no ace, and Char will settle with 4 kills.
That's all he really can do at that point, and now just saving the AK, that's going to kind of throw a wrench in the gears in terms of the money for UCF at this point too. So it's it's definitely been a resurgence from UCSC, to say the least. They've definitely found their groove here, and what could have been a very grim map. Looking all the way back to that 9th round there. In 9, am I counting correctly? You can do math, Crackshot. Come on. Yeah, I believe it's the 9th round, where it was 6-2 for the UCF Knights. That eco round. If UCSC doesn't pull that off, none of this is possible. So in another world, I mean, UCF ran away with this map, and instead they've got to fight for their T-side lives here. Blue Sky with 2 with the Tecker. Accomplice gets 1 over towards Monster and will finally finish the job onto Blue Sky, and another one for his troubles. Char with the AK that he saved has a chance in this, though. 1v2. Johan up in heaven. That smoke will dissipate, making things hard. Oh, Char! Nice. Oh, baby, what a shot. Now a 1v1. We saw this before, Char and Seo. Seo got the better of him already once in this half in a 1v1 situation. Arguably the 2 most experienced players on each team here, too, in the 1v1 situations. So it's just a matter of the brain battles. Oh, this is a 5-head timing. Play.
Heads up from Char. Everything here is timing. Char? Wait, Seo? Hello? What is going on?
Seo was trying to wrap him over towards B. Char gonna throw a flash in. Seo heard the flash go towards Monster. It hasn't drawn his attention, though. Seo realizes now exactly what's going on. So Char's kind of got to hurry up, but Char doesn't realize that Seo's behind him. Char's going to expect Seo to have been, maybe short B or already on the A site because he hadn't spotted him yet. The rotation from Seo, though, may not have rendered him the round earlier. It might just do it now. And Char always planning on the wrong side of the box. Seo is going to pop up and take down Char, get the better of him again. Seo, so strong. He's been the hero of this map. The scoreboard might not say that. Now it will with that defuse, of course. He's been helped out a lot by great op shots from Johan, some great monster holds by Shike. But that trio's been absolutely deadly, and Seo winning 2 very important 1v1s is a big reason why UCSC is out in front now 8-6.
It's the last round of the first half, and well, I'll tell you, it's gone by in a fly. When you're having a blast, time just seems to go by you. And UCF Knights, well, 5 AKs. This doesn't look like it's going to be a fun round for them. The op, though, Johan, he's such an aggressive style. He's got such an aggressive style, I should say, is UCF Knights. That just forces him to back away. The Molotov, yes, it holds him back, but look at Shike. Look at the ground he's gained. He wants to open it up, and he's successful as well. Peeks in for another look, but doesn't catch anything but bullets. Fury now hides in the corner, tucked away. He does eventually go down to Blue Sky, however, puts him in a man advantage. But again, there's still 1 player left on that B bomb site. It's the AUG in the hands of Accomplice. What can he do to hold them back? Johan from above takes one down. It's Rascal's time to shine. Pushes straight on in, catches a player's head off, and now Seo, he's done this before, and he does it again. Seo aggresses through the smoke and takes down the remaining 2. It's 9-6 as UCSC ended on a high note. UCF Knights on their own map pick, down by 3 rounds on that attacking side, but now we got to look at it. 6 rounds on your T side, not too shabby. Now they're on the CT side, an overpass, albeit it's a lot more even, but it is still a CT-sided map.
In theory, it's a CT-sided map for sure, but you got to wonder where the confidence is going. Again, Talking about the mentality of these players, it is a good half at 6 rounds, but when you realize that it was a 6-2 lead at one point and they gave UCSC the last 7 consecutive rounds, if UCSC win this pistol, that's going to put UCF's heads even further in the dumpster than they already were. So now we're looking at a situation where UCF pretty much needs this pistol, I'd say, just to stay in this one. And again, the series is 1-1 if you're just tuning in, guys. Make sure you guys do !CSL Finals 20 in the chat for a chance to win a HyperX Cloud Alpha S headset. You guys get a chance to win that at the end of this series and the end of all of our grand finals. We've been giving those away. Make sure you guys check out HyperX for a 15% off discount for students. Of course, now into the pistol. Shike. This is very similar. It looks very similar to what UCF had thrown at us before. They've got a player spotting monster. That monster peak seeming more and more popular in the past. Of course, it looks like UCSC is just seeing what kind of map ground or what kind of forward ground they're being given. It's the long trap being set by UCF, and Chill Dan, he's got to be careful because Shike, he wants that fight. It is a Glock versus USP. They want to fight him together. They're trying to take him down, spraying away with those USPs. They've done a ton of damage to Shike over towards B. Rascal realizes, okay, there's only one guy over there. It's probably a lurk, and that's going to queue up Blue Sky. Blue Sky, he's in on the flank. They might not expect him in this position. Oh, but they will. Sayo comes around the corner, takes down Blue Sky, holding for the long push, and now Rascal stuck behind the smoke. They're planning on the truck. This has UCSC written all over it. If they can play these trades correctly, we'll have to see if UCF can crack back into this.
Ooh, they've got to get it going now. The kills, it's not going their way at the moment. No kit present as well. Char, oh, accomplice. 2 players go down the third from Fury, 10-6 UCSC, double digits, and a very strong A site take again. The end of the A bombs at UCF Knights and their pistol round ended towards B, but ultimately they did end up going towards the A bombs. But UCSC, they take it confidently. The buy is present. The bomb plant gives them so much extra cash, $300. And UCSC, 2 MAC-10s, a UMP, accompanied by 2 rifles and an AK and Galil. UCF Knights, on the other hand, just a deagle. 1 deagle on backs and probably an 11th round here for UCSC as they are heading towards an A-bomb site once more. 4 players heading towards the playground, now heading out towards long as UCF Knights will have to make a quick rotation to even contest in this round. It does look like Char is alone though in his endeavors towards that upper bomb site. He doesn't even get anything. Only a bullet to the face. UCSC, 11th round surely here for them.
Yeah, there's nothing left on the A site to even hold this off. And I mean, these players just kind of got to be careful not to go down to the MAC-10s of Sayo and Shike because that's going to render them the most cash. And that's why they're sending them in first. And it is a meat grinder for the UMP at the MAC-10. 4 kills in quick succession. Accomplice does lose his life in that small engagement towards CT rotate there. But UCSC, I mean, that's 9 in a row now. I mean, not that anyone was keeping count. That's 9 rounds in a row for UCSC. They got a bonus round going here. UCF elected not to force into the second round as CTs to buy early in the third round, and as such, they've relinquished a lot of opportunity to have utility here. And so UCSC, maybe reading into that, is going to go for a fast B play here. They're already out short. Char's not even up close yet. They'll toss a flash in. Gets 1 before he's traded out. Does enough damage, though. Gets enough info to allow Blue Sky to hop in and join in on the fun. He gets another one. Wow. Recovers the rifle. Very good hold from UCF. And that is exactly what you want if you're UCF. You need a confidence round. You need something to bounce your team back into this game. You are on the favored side. You're only 4 rounds back. Despite 9 rounds in a row going by the wayside, you're still in this. And they've got to definitely keep their heads in this one. A lot of Counter-Strike left on this map.
It's the fairy tale story for them as well. I think the first time we saw them, we called it the Cloud9 versus FaZe Boston major matchup. And obviously UCSC going into this are definitely the heavy favorites. I mean, they're 2-0 in their matches, or in at least their head-to-head. Both of those being best of 3s. One went 2-1, one went in dominant 2-0 fashion. And UCSC, if it does go to Dust 2, I'd expect them to take that. But if it's anything like Vertigo, it might change. Blue Sky gets the first. Trade is in favor of the T's. Accomplice catches Rascal off guard. Now they just need to hunt Blue Sky down, and they get it. Shike spraying through the paneling will take him down to give UCSC a head in this matchup, or at least a head up in this matchup. has a 4 versus 3. Chill Dan tossed an 8 on in, does do little to no damage. It has actually done nothing. But there's a fight coming in from Sayo. This is huge, especially for UCSC. They're holding back, expecting Sayo to do something. There's a reason why they haven't approached that site with the bomb yet, because they're hoping Sayo can get something done. Chill Dan, those arrived on the scene, and Chill Dan, as cool-headed as he is, needs to turn up the temperature to take the site back here. Char burns the first player. There goes one. Shike crumbles to the ground as Accomplice tries to do some damage. Does get one back, dances around. Char, though, 2-on-2 here. He's caught the player flanking as well. Saya goes down, and now it's up to Chill Dan. He can't do much towards construction as Char is left in the clutch. A 1-on-2, and a 1-on-2 is not won by UCF. 7-12 UCSC get right back into it. They had 9 rounds in a row broken by UCF, but they pick right back up where they left off with another round. It's not looking pretty for the CTs at this point in time, is it?
No, and I'm surprised we haven't seen any kind of tactical pause in this string of rounds that have just been very unfortunate situations for UCF here. They have to save in this one. They'll be able to buy into the next. They're at least generating a little bit of a loss bonus. It won't be a great buy next round, though. All things considered, a couple of players will be left without utility. Chilled Den will be able to get the AWP, and the AWP was a big reason why UCSC was able to have such a dominant ending to that CT half. So we'll see if Chilled Den can mimic that response from Slug Gaming, as now Fury lining up an A site smoke, and it looks like a fast A acceleration up long. UCSC very good at changing the pace here and playing together. Accomplice joining up with his teammates, taking down the Bathrooms player. That was the lone threat towards the A bomb site, and the rest of this just a formality, really.
They're not going to go hunting, though. They realize the risk of losing more rifles to just pistols. I mean, the money is abysmal for UCSC, and they're not going to risk anything in this round. First player, though, they might actually do some more damage here, though. UCF Knights, the pistols are deadly. There's a player flanking, and Sayo has written his wrongs right as UCSC 13-7. It's the death number. I always call it the death number because, again, one eco, you're basically one eco round away from losing this map. And with the buy for UCF, they drop this. It's almost guaranteed a map point for UCSC. It's getting dicey for the Knights. And I don't even think they have what it takes to pull this one back. I mean, just based on the way that they're playing on the CT side, it's not looking pretty for them. I don't mean to be the negative person in the cast track, but I mean, UCF Knights, the way they're playing on the CT side, especially on the favored side of this map, it's looking a little bit hopeless, to say the least. Char holds out towards Toxic. First player is Shike. He goes down instantly. Blue Sky will get a second there. So maybe there's hope in this round as Sayo out towards Monster still lurks in a possible threat to the longevity of UCF Knights. No longer, though, as Char has ripped his head clean off his shoulders, and Chill Dan is on the hunt in towards Connector. UCSC drop the round, give Knights the 8th, but again, UCF Knights have got a long way to go to stage any sort of comeback.
Childen opens the door. He actually does get one. That was actually a pretty dangerous play, to be honest. I don't know if I like that one. It's definitely confidence, but now they don't get to recover the op, and they can't afford one here. And if he loses that duel, that just gives an opening all the way back up to the A site. There was 4 players rotated down in towards the B site for UCF. And that's kind of a risky run when you play such an aggressive style of Counter-Strike like UCF does. It's very in-your-face. It's kind of a very smothering style. And when it's working, it can be very frustrating to play against. But when it's not, UCSC just kind of picking them apart, as you can see. And now Chilled Dan, he's relegated to an M4. UCSC will buy into this round, as it is one of those rounds where they elect to force. They only have the single loss bonus, and they're just going to try to contact out B. They've had so much success with this in the past. But Char, he spotted this, and now Rascal joining in on the fun. Good flashbang from Char as well. He's had a couple of really good flashes from this barrel's position. Absolutely running a clinic on these guys. They really got to find a way to molly him out of those positions before they execute into that B bomb site. Now UCF just clearing out A and making sure that they're not falling for some kind of trick. But Fury, he made his way all the way out B. Blue Sky's flash actually aided him in getting the better of Char because they were trying to figure out where UCSC was headed. But it's still B. It's always been B. And Sayo, he's going through. He's looking for one. He'll take down Blue Sky. He'll take the second as well. Sayo, the hero for the Slugs, trying once again to lift his team to victory, but maybe not in this round. Bax securing an important frag, and now both players in heaven. Chilled Dan got to be careful, and they will find the final frag. Gets a bit dicey at the end, but UCF with a bit of a resurgence here.
9 rounds. They're looking for that double digit. There was a point in time when I call this the sudden death round. You lose it, you're on an eco 15 for UCSC, but now they're at 9. The double eco for UCSC comes into a full effect as they have only pistols, 2 deagles, 3 deagles, and 2 P250s to play around now, as it is just going to be a full convergence over towards the A bomb set. It looks like never mind. They're spreading themselves thin just a tad bit. Strength in numbers and D as 2 players is what it takes to take down Chill Dan. He only gets 1 kill. They're traded back by Fury. They can pick up an M4. They can play around it. Fury does do some damage. He's tagged down back to 60. There's an opportunity given now for UCSC. They picked up the M4, and there's a chance they could pull the strings in this round to give themselves the leverage they need. But still, 4 versus 4. Firepower in favor of the Knights, and UCSC still a long way to go to make it to 14 as UCF Knights still sit comfortably on their sights. It's up. Wait. Char? Has he gone past? He's gone past Shike. Shike is alone on the B. Shike, look at all the information Shike is getting. There's nobody here. Somehow Char has gone by him without even noticing. But thankfully, Rascal's up towards Evans. I was going to say, Char, if he backed away and didn't know Shike went by him, that could have been huge for UCSC. Rascal, though, in the heavens, obviously does God's work and takes him down. That could have been big for UCSC. And now a flank from Char, who hasn't given his position away, just waits and bides his time. He holds his trigger. The discipline is huge. 2 in his pocket. He's going huge right now. He's got a double already, and now he's looking to take down Fury. It's up to just Fury. A huge play. Trigger discipline from Char. He's dropped the bomb. He's dropped the third. 10-13 UCF Knights. Very, very well played from them. The Knights take it to 10, and UCSC, it's getting a lot closer than they could have ever expected.
Yeah, I mean UCF, they're starting. I mean, I don't want to, mention any kind of word to jinx what's going on here, but they are mounting something. You can sort of smell it. It's in the air. But is it on the cards? That is the question.
I can smell it too. It smells like a comeback. Emily, my mom used to make a comeback. She used to brew one up in a pot, and I think UCF Knights, they've got the recipe. Chill Dan, part of that, is giving him the op. Holding up above that blue sign, waiting for unsuspecting victims to walk into his crosshair. UCF Knights, confident now. The confidence is restored. This is their map pick. This is their turf, and they're looking to steal it away. Cheeky boost from backs. Doesn't warrant anything. UCSC, still 5 players standing. A couple players tagged down, but no biggie just yet as UCF Knights. Very well timed Molotov to force Shike into an uncomfortable position. That does give them a chance to swing, but it hasn't warranted much except for death. They get 1 kill, but now they've got to call the rotations on in, and it really does just leave the likes of Blue Sky alone on the site, but he's done already enough. 2 kills go his way, and now it's up to Sayo and Yoan to try and recover the round. Sayo is already tagged down to 8 points of HP as Blue Sky dances around the pillars, takes one with him, and he looks to get the 4K now. He might just radio it on in. Chill Dan through the smoke, catches Yoan, it dissipates, and that's just what he needs. 11-13 UCF Knights are fighting and clawing their way back into this match as UCSC again forced onto an eco, just pistols to play with, and this is definitely the perfect time to call that attack pause for UCSC.
Yeah, I mean, they've been using the pause function. I would have liked to see UCF use it, but I know that they're a very cerebral team. They realize what's going on. They realize what needs to happen. Either way, UCSC will call the pause here. They, will likely extend it into this following eco. They realize, okay, we did it on CT side. Maybe we can do it on T side here. But either way, this 13-12 round that's coming up potentially is going to be very important. If we take that, we can still decimate their economy. It's not that great. And then we can go on to take this map and a 2-1 advantage in the series and just be 1 map away from that $20,000 grand prize. Now, what can they do to stop UCF at this point? Again, like I said before, UCF is a team that's going to show you many different looks. There's a few little tendencies you can pick out. Maybe Char playing on the barrels. Maybe we could try to molly him out of there earlier, get him uncomfortable. Maybe there's a player over towards A. Chill Den really likes that upper A peak, so maybe we can flash him off and take him out early. Now, what can we do? How do they rotate after that? There's a lot of ifs going on. So we'll see what comes out once this pause is ended, and it looks like freeze time is about to be over, and we'll see the Deagles and Tech Nines of UCSC at work.
The pistol pair, Deagles and Tech Nines, ever since the buff, they've come back to the front lines of eco rounds. UCSC 13-11. Surely a 12th here, though, for the Knights. I mean, just looking at the bye, but a loss here could mean the end. Shike kicks us off with one. Rascalo mows them all down. 3 players drop bodies across the map, and a 3-on-2 UCSC. They have the bomb on the backs of Johan, but Chill Dan's arrived on the scene, and cool he is. A tag on Isaiah, just softening them up. The nade will put him in for sure. If not, Bax is there through the smoke, takes down Johan. 12-13. Easily enough said for the USC Knights. They should have had that in the bag nonetheless. And UCSC now have got a buy on the board. Now this is where it gets a little bit dicey for the Knights. The money's still abysmal. They have no stable economy at the moment, and UCSC are still trying to build theirs up. So this round could be the deciding factor for both these teams. If it goes awry for the Knights, they won't have a lot of money. If it goes bad for UCSC, they too won't have a lot of money to play with.
A lot of implications on this round, Sully. This one is likely going to determine our victor. Shike takes down Char, who was trying to get aggressive towards Monster there. Maybe a little bit ill-advised, but we'll see if UCSC can capitalize on the opportunity they've been given. Shike, he wants more. He's trying to contact that Monster. Rascal's taking up the position of his fallen comrade over on the barrels, and there's still Blue Sky there to help defend, and he's been rock solid in that site. Now being mollied out of barrels, and that's some great team play right there. The molly out of barrels to get Rascal out of position. Accomplice on short's going to take one. Blue Sky's going to smoke himself off into the bomb site. He's been mollied off. He's looking for the kill. He'll take Shike. No one's out short yet. Johan is up in the smoke. Blue Sky flying through the sky, trying to find any kind of damage into this bomb site, but it's his teammate to chime in next. Backs and Blue Sky against Accomplice and Seo. Accomplice does take the first. It's all onto Blue Sky now, and they know exactly where he waits. He's over towards Graffiti. He's looking for Accomplice, sneaking around the pillar. The timing not going to favor him. He does spot him. Oh, nice shot from Blue Sky there. Seo, does he just swing in for the trade? That's the question. Blue Sky's moved all the way over here. Does he spot the gun barrel? Seo, Blue Sky with the 3K. He stays alive somehow that entire round. Oh my goodness, this guy is going off.
Blue Sky, he's on a tear right now. He's got a 3K, a 1v2 as well. Blue Sky's on unreal. He's on another level. Last map, it was Chill Dan. Today, in this map, in the now, he knows what's going on. And the money, it's not there for UCSC. This could mean 15 for UCF Knights and possibly the second map in their pockets. What a story it would be to get the second map. The first map was a shocker. This one was a little bit more realistic, and UCF Knights, while they've been pitted against one of the toughest opponents in collegiate esports, collegiate Counter-Strike, I should say, they've done one hell of a job to battle against it. The Deagle tags, but backs away on 1 point of HP. He still stands, even just barely, as Chill Dan above the smoke. He's above them all. Another kill to be had. No, denied by Shike, as a flashbang from Char called in from the B-bomb site. Shike and Co have got full control for the time being over towards the middle, but again, aggression shown. Trades go back and forth. Shike deals the damage as Blue Sky falls. Nothing more. Somehow Bax gets the kill. Now it's Shike's turn to turn up in light. It's a 1 versus 2. Bomb yet to go down. It's on the ground instead. In front of him, he picks it up. The bomb landed in the smoke. Flashbang on over. They're starting to push on it. I don't think he stands a chance, and he doesn't long. 14 rounds for the UCF Knights, and UCSC. Money is abysmal once more. They force into every single round, but the results aren't there. Can they make it work, or will UCF Knights find themselves at 15th round that they've been looking for so long?
That clutch from Blue Sky, it's been enough to propel them this far. And now they just have one more challenge to get themselves over the hump and give themselves a 2-1 lead in the series. Fury going aggressive into short. Chill Dan wants this, and he spotted Seo, who wasn't expecting him to push through that mid smoke. Fury finds 2. Blue Sky and Rascal both fall, but Baxi comes out of connector. Char standing tall and Monster. This is a frag fest across the map. Death match, if you will, from both of these teams at this point. Each player doing their job, doing their darndest at this point to try to hold off their opposition, but the B site will fall. It is a 2-on-2 retake here. Chilled Dan gonna nade the bomb planner. That's a huge nade. Johan with 3 HP. The molly, is that enough? Oh, Johan evades it. Bax gonna boost up Chilled Dan. Looking for the kill. He spotted a little bit of info. They know that Shite could be up close. Oh no, that goes a little unchecked in the flash that's in. Bax is blind. He's looking for Shite and he wants to find the trade. And he'll find him. That's it. Bax will find the 15th round for UCF, as close as it comes in 2 rounds in a row.
Another clutch.
God, I hate this economy.
1v2. UCSC, it feels like every round they've been able... P90? Okay. I was going to say they've been able to buy every round. Blue Sky is... I think he's opted for a P90. He's got confidence clearly in his P90. What does he plan to do with it? I do too.
I trust him, Brian, here. I think he knows what he wants to do with this.
Walk in and spray them all down. P90. When in doubt, rush with P90. Doesn't look like he's rushing. I like this though. Yeah. I mean, it feels like every round that UCSC have played towards that B bombs, they've just funneled themselves into death through the tunnel of Monster, and he's got the right idea. Chilled Dan will find the first though over towards that A bomb site on the top of them. Johan now tries to lurk out towards construction. Maybe get an opening here. Trade it back here. He does receive a bullet to his chest. Down to 78 points of HP. Blue Sky still remains a threat towards Monster as he still holds the line with that P90. His utility as well can be called upon as he lobs a nade, forces UCSC back into a hole as they start to get this underway. Still though, the T's hardly any ground made so far, just in the likes of the solo player in Fury up towards that A bomb. So he's got ground towards bathroom, but that's all they have at the moment as UCSC look to end towards the B bomb site. 3 players here for both these teams as Shike leads the charge. First kill. Can he get the second? He should be able to get the second. He's tagged down low, but it's decimation.
Oh my goodness.
4 kills across the board, and UCSC have given light to a hopeless situation. Chilled Dan now is going to attempt something miraculous. Maybe not though. He has to save. Saves the up for the next round, and the money, it's looking like overtime. But regardless, we go to all 30 rounds in map number 2 of the best of 5 CSL Grand Finals.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it is an online play, right? This is, obviously you could account more for the nerves at something like a LAN. Of course, the global situation preventing that from happening. We're making do here. We're doing our best. We appreciate y'all being with us for this. But the nerves of these players, again, we got to remember, $20,000 is on the line here. That is no small chunk of change. These guys have battled all season for this, not to mention the rivalry they have with each other. I mean, these two teams have seen enough of each other in the last couple of weeks across the TikTok Cup, the CSL Finals, various other tournaments. I mean, they've definitely got each other's number, and now it's looking like we might see overtime, barring a miraculous round from UCF here. I mean, the last time that I said that was earlier in this game, and it was the round that propelled UCSC back into the fight. So we'll see what UCF can do here. Final round, round 30, coming at you here in the CSL Grand Finals. Deagles and Pistols along with Chilled Dan's AWP. I'm curious to see what he decides to do with that, whether he plays a more conservative approach. They brought it over towards the B-bomb site. So they're reading into the success. Oh, look at all the info they're getting. Oh, this is a long play. Oh, this is just going to be a matter of timing. Who's going to realize what's going on first?
Ooh, back so 5-7 a tap away. They've won rounds just off of one single op before. The Eagle though rings tried and true for the first kill. They won that equalizer, but instead 2 players fall. Johan 2 in his pocket. He's looking for more though. He's zooming onto the site like a rocket as Bax is left alone behind the dice. Reinforcements come in and chill Dan, but he has to hold the line of 5-7, and UCSC retreat back on in, but Char pops his head for 1. UCSC now it's a game of cat and mouse. Can they chase him down in time? Char finds Haven inside of this B bomb site, holds by the sandbags, missed shot ring now, but he has to back away. Rotations called back. It's a game of cat and mouse, and they're chasing the tail of the rat.
No,
UCSC,
they're going back.
They're going back to the A bomb site. 40 seconds left. They got to get a move on here. Chilled in with the op yet to make the rotation on in, and Bax is going to get all this information so early. Give time for the rotations. Bax is everything here. Bax is everything. Bax turns in with 2 kills. Bax takes them all down, leaves it to Johan in a 1 versus 2. Can he get it done? The ace to make it work. Char's picked up an AK, but he's got his back turned. Char He didn't shoot
Oh.
Char. He's got to get the kill, and he
There it
does.
is.
Char hold his tongue in 16-14, all 30 rounds needed, but UCF Knights find success in the final round to make it 2-1 from a 1-0 deficit. They have themselves up by 1 map against UCSC.
Oh my goodness. What a map, Sully. What a map. That is the CSL Grand Finals delivering at their finest. That is some impressive stuff from both sides. A hero round, back stepping up there. Blue Sky with an incredible clutch. The losers of that map, though, Sayo even had a lot of insane moments for his team. Both teams, lots of clutches. That's exactly what you'd expect out of the Grand Finals here. Both these teams deserving to be here. But getting into the game now, guys, of course. My name is Crackshot. His name is Sully, and we are here for the CSL Grand Finals. Going to be a good time. Make sure you guys tell us who you think is going to win this map in the chat. Stay engaged. Have some fun with us here in the Grand Finals. UCF should be taking the CT side, or they won't. Did they take C side? Did that just happen? Do I have that right? I might have. I got to have that wrong.
Wait, no, they have it right. UCF T side. They did it on Vertigo. Do they just hate the norms of Counter-Strike, I guess. They just.
Yeah, but this is different than Vertigo, man. This is new. It's been around forever. No way. Either way, I don't know. We're gonna leave that for another time. Either way, this is how the cookie is crumbled. Char's going to throw a nade to Door, and he's going to try to sell the fact that this is an A hit, draw some attention away from ramp. There is a player here. That's Fury. He's unable to hit a shot, can't pick a target. 4 players have rushed their way into ramp. And now Shike, he'll come in and take down Char. That's the response that they were looking for as they try to rotate up into heaven. They've caught Sayo. Now the pack of 4 UCF Knights, they can do whatever they want with this round. UCSC's left guessing. They do have control of lobby, but they have to guess whether they're going lower or whether they're going to come back into the upper bomb site. Shike wants a duel, and he's looking for one. He's watched a couple players cross over towards Secret, and now he'll move down the stairs as well. There are 2 players down in that lower bomb site as Bax is now waiting to see if he can catch a rotation. Accomplice and Shike holding this off angle. Shike has heard this. Blue Sky's jumping across. He's got the bomb too, so they really have to commit into this. Wherever Blue Sky goes, this is where the round actually has to end. As now UCF looking for something towards lower. Chilled Dan and Rascal combined for 2. They've taken down 2 players. Accomplice is already in this lower bomb site. They haven't quite figured that out yet, but once they do, it should be a done and dusted round. Either way, Bax finishes it off. Not exactly the most orthodox way of doing things, but neither is picking T side to start on Nuke, and they'll take it.
Well, okay. That maybe there's a reason why they start on the T side. They get the piss around pretty darn confidently as well. I think they only dropped 1 player there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Char was the only one to falter. UCSC now, 4 P250s and a USB. They don't have a lot to play off of, but maybe something can come to fruition. As UCF Knights, strong bar, 3 AKs and 2 MAC 10s. Normally you see maybe in the mix a Galil or a UMP. This time, no. They've opted for 3 AK-47s and 2 kills already for Chill Danny. Sprays haphazardly looking for maybe another head through the smoke. Doesn't spot anything. Backs away. Barely standing on his actual own 2 legs. 2 points of HP. Bax is still lurking towards outside. Taking it slow. UCF Knights are playing the long-range angles. They know they have that advantage with the rifles, and they're not going to give the likes of UCSC anything to play with. They trade the weapons on over. Chill Dan now will be the entry with just the MAC 10. Does he get anything done here, though? Fury holds with the P250. Should easily take out Chill Dan, but nothing more. No tag on a Blue Sky, as well as UCF Knights storm their way down towards the lower bomb site, towards the B bomb site, get the plant on in. An easy enough second round for them.
Char's just smoking off that control room because it can be quite the task to clear all of that out or have to worry about it. And so they won't even bother going into the hallways and giving these pistols a better chance of getting a fight against them. This is actually really well played from UCF towards this late round. I know it's mostly a formality, but it's the little things that they do right that really separates them from the pack in terms of being a top-tier collegiate team that they are. I mean, there's a reason they're in the grand finals. They're showing you guys that right here. Now, the early buy from UCSC. The fact that they don't have a lot of utility and the fact that UCF is on a bonus round of sorts, Back's going to be the one with the MAC 10 this time, indicates to me they might be going for something fast. Is it just going to be an upper rush, or they're going to try to hit ramp again? That's probably going to be the call, as most players will stick together in this situation.
They've got rifles now to play with. Ooh, straight down the fence. Max isn't successful in that endeavor. Spraying amongst them, though. Rascal, ooh, does he poke his head? Does he get anything whatsoever? He will get one. Nice shot from Rascal to open things up. Waits and bides his time. Springs the trap, and now it's been sprung 2-0 in a 4-on-4. UCF Knights still feels like they're in full control at the moment. They've got the tempo set, and they're making it slow. Fury towards the ramp, might line something up. Nice little angle. Just can barely see the player through the yellow ramp here. The trade back, though, Char thankfully gets that kill. Salvages it now as Rascal. Ooh, he gives the man advantage back to UCF Knights. Johan, though, chimes back in with another. Kills again, go back and forth, 2 versus 2, and they're on that upper bomb site. Bomb will surely go down. Molotov to delay them, but Johan, still the biggest threat they haven't secured just yet. The bomb now does go down. Rascal barely alive. The 2 versus 2. 14 points of HP for Rascal. Char stands at 52. Even he barely stands, and he doesn't stand for long. He goes down to the hands of Shike, and Rascal almost in an impossible 1 versus 2. What more can he do? He's got the first, but through the fourth drill, Shike rips it off and takes it 2-1. UCSC open it up with a 1 versus 1 clutch.
As close as it could have been, really, too. I mean, they don't have a kit to work with, so they had to get that kill in that amount of time. Shike will finally find it. UCF, they tried to weasel their way out of that situation, and I really liked how they set the pace in that round, as you mentioned. They slowed it right down. They were able to get the pick back that they lost on backs trying to do that vent dive play, and ultimately they kind of had control of that. They burned all the utility almost on UCSC, and it just came down to gunfights. UCSC was able to take it. Now Blue Sky is going to throw an outside smoke, and it's going to be a wall of smokes outside for UCF, but they're actually going to go on the inside of the wall. I like this. This is a bit of an audible call, and this forced Johan's hand, and he's gone outside now. Chilled Dan able to recover a gun that was otherwise he didn't have. Shike, though, he's going to get him. There might be a bit of a gap in that smoke, but Bax, he shuts him down. Now heading on into the A-bomb site. Accomplice is up close. He's got the XM10, tries to make that puppy sing, and it will not for him as Rascal once again with a solid frag. He's been absolutely heroic here in these first 4 rounds, although Blue Sky, he falls, and that's the bomb. That is the bomb over towards Secret. Just that little misstep from UCF, the thing that I had said that they wouldn't do, is going to cost them so much. In the meantime, it looks like they are going to try to boost a player up into heaven. Fury has definitely heard this. So the indication is going to be there. Fury even caches the foot of the 1 player. He tries to lurk out Hut. He'll take down Bax. That's going to leave Rascal to try to shut him down. And the bomb's still over towards Secret. Sayo has the cutoff on the outside if he wants to. This is a good angle. He can cut off both angles essentially. But Rascal's probably not going to be looking this way when he crosses this.
Oh, no, I don't think he will. Rascal, oh, he's 5 head. It looked like for a second he was aware, but his back turned at the last second. Sayo will have nothing more to say as UCF Knights set in stone. Another close matchup, 2-2. We're equal. UCF Knights will be forced onto pistols, maybe a couple of P250s and an Eagle, but obviously they won't have much to play with. Blue Sky has invested himself a Deagle. I think Rascal and Char will follow suit here shortly hereafter. Yes, they've got themselves Deagle. Rascal even pairs himself up with some Kevlar, but ultimately it's UCSC who should have this 3rd round. UCF Knights now. What can they get done in this? Economic damage is what they're hoping for, right? Do something. Block goes in from Chill. Dan, how much onslaught can he cause here? 1 kill already on the ladder. Shike barely stands tall there. What is happening now? The Deagles are an absolute menace to them. 1 HP for Char. A single bullet as Blue Sky left alone, almost falling to his death. Fury's barely alive now as Blue Sky flicks the cross. He gets the kill. It's winnable. But Shike up and down the ladder takes him out with no mercy. 3-2 UCSC. A shaky round, albeit UCF Knights. Look at the money they can force up, they can invest, and they know UCSC will have almost nothing pocket money to play with, as UCF Knights have done so much damage to their economic factors.
They definitely have. 2 players here actually have no utility at all for UCSC. So despite not winning that round and it becoming as close as it was, considering that there was just barely anything involved, they opened that up with the Glock dropping mini. They have a big chance in this round here. And there's 1 player, that's Sayo. He's outside. He's got 1 HP and somehow he's still alive. He snuck his way around the smoke. If he gets a kill, I am going to be flabbergasted. Oh, he does get 1. He almost gets 2. Chilled Dan, half HP now. He does find the trade. Looking for the duel now is Johan, who's tapping away and taking down Bax from behind blue bin. Silo has fallen for UCF. Now Johan rotating over towards ramp. He realizes that the outside position has probably been compromised, so doubling up with your teammate, not a bad idea here. Ramp is where UCF will go, and Fury, that is an interesting position. He'll fall in that spot. Shike does find one. The trade is there. Char's up close, looking for the swing on the Shike, and he'll find it. 2-on-1 now. The HP favors Accomplice, but they have decided we're just going to head up on in. And the timing, Accomplice just barely misses the timing, but I think he might have caught an edge there or at least spotted one. So he's just going to be wrapping heaven behind these guys. And it's going to be up to them to try to realize this. Chill Dan going to drop to plant the bomb. Char not going to be looking in this direction. It's all on Accomplice. He's got this in the bag if he plays this correctly. He's up in heaven. Chill Dan below him, and Accomplice not looking in the right position. Chill Dan will find the round. How many of these are we going to see today where it's just a 1v1? Could go either way. It's a flip of the coin, but UCF, they'll find the tying round 3-3.
Just when they needed it as well. Accomplice, everything was set in stone for him. All he had to do was move his mouse and click M1. He had the time, and there's no way they were going to expect that fast flank. He could have taken his time. He didn't need to jump the gun and take the first player down. Char could have remained alive temporarily, as now Char removes the first player. Johan goes down. There's a player behind him, but he doesn't care. He's focused on what's in front of him. He's tunnel vision, and that costs 2 lives. Accomplice with his deagle sings its deadly song. The bomb plant is secured, however. 2 8Ks retrieved, and perhaps UCSC decided to save. Maybe they want to do some damage, and ultimately UCF should have this 4th round as UCSC do back away with both these AK-47s. Probably the best scenario that they could have asked for. UCF, though, 4th round acquired very, very fast. UCSC, not too bad of a round, however. Get away with 2 AKs, save them for the next. You'll have a decent buy if you want to force sub. Shike and Seo and Johan won't have a lot, but at least you'll have these 2 AKs to play around. You'll have something to bolster your economy.
It'll at least give them something going into the next round, right? And I mean, that's what they'll be looking for here. They didn't have a lot invested. UCF trying to generate some money. Both teams looking like they don't have a very good economy on either side. And so UCF's going to have to rebuy a couple of rifles here. Definitely getting this round win is going to help. The fact that it's likely another save from UCSC is going to help. UCF, I mean, if we got the story right and they did actually elect to pick the T side, it's one of those calls where it's like, if you get it wrong, everybody's just like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? But if you get it right, you look like an absolute 5-head genius. And that's starting to look like where it's trending. You know, they're doing the heavy lifting first.
Yeah, I mean, they're 4 rounds already. This 5th round, in my opinion, nowadays, I mean, Nuke used to be one of those maps where it's 11-4, but it's now looking like a 10-5. UCF Knights flying start in this round, quickly quieted down. Never mind, the AKs removed from play. Bodies across the outside, 2 versus 2, and it's up against a CZ and a USP, but never underestimate the likes of Shike and Seo. Rascal takes a dink to the head, and that's what I'm talking about. You can't underestimate them. Seo gets the kill on the Rascal, picks up the AK, finds the final kill on 100 points of HP. UCF Knights, it's still a little bit shaky here. You never know what's going to happen. Seo picks up that CZ, tears and shreds him apart, but I don't think it's going to happen. He misses his chance, and UCF Knights 5-3. All together, this is not a bad half. I mean, like you said, do the heavy lifting first. 5 rounds, they get 6 or 7. They've got one heck of a half already built up for them. That CT side transition is going to be so easy for them. They can get the 6th or 7th round here for themselves as UCSC, another scrappy buy. XM in the hands of Fury, probably towards top of hut, but all together, it's not looking pretty for them. The money is abysmal, and UCSC haven't been given a chance to build anything up.
No, they really haven't. They haven't had a big chance to get any kind of economy going. And one of their rifle players, one of their players with utility, that's Johan. He's going to fall in HP, and Bax is going to sneak his way out. Oh, this is a sneaky play. Fury's up close. He's going to stay close. He wants this fight, and he'll take it. He'll just one-shot Char. It's open season with that shotty in there. And over towards ramp, closed for business. But Baxi snuck out into the A site, and he's going to go looking. He's trying to find something. He wants to mostly clear mini for his teammates, but he's got to be careful of this Tetris angle up close. He'll finish off Johan, and he's just going to run back into the door. They've equalized things. That's enough for them for now. Shike could catch Chill Dan. Chill Dan spots him, though. Chill Dan ready for that as he's holding outside with the AWP. Hasn't exactly been a loud player in this matchup so far, but he's had a lot to say in this round. That kill, very, very important. That was the X factor right there for them. So it's looking now like it's going to be a round for UCF if they play their cards right. I wouldn't even blame UCSC if they save here, and I think that's what the call that's been made.
You kind of have to. I mean, you got an op, you got an AK out of it. That's not too bad. Obviously, we're hoping for the round win. You had a scrappy buy. Didn't expect a lot, but hey, you get out with an op and an AK. Not too bad. UCF Knights, though, 6-3. And this is the round I was talking about. 6 rounds on your T side is a difficult task nowadays in modern Counter-Strike. But hey, they've done it. Even furthermore, if they can get that 7th, which it does look very likely, UCSC don't have a lot to play with, as the money, again, lackluster. They haven't been given a chance to build up an economy, build up the bank accounts, as UCF Knights continue to roll in the dough. What can they do here? UCSC, they haven't been able to do much to counter the aggressiveness from UCF. Again, we said in the very early stages of this matchup that they were able to set the tempo. UCF Knights, they've done that again, set the tempo. You play to your liking and force UCSC to adjust. And UCF Knights, they have a firm grasp on this match and map and match, I should say, because this is the only map they need to close out the grand finals. And right now, they're doing it with confidence. They're doing it with style. Flashbang already out towards Hut. They're trying to make a quick engagement. Unfortunately, Chill Dan does receive a bullet to the body, as now Rascal's time to shine. Double for him. Char combines with a third, and Char will just slap them up silly. It's now on to Sarah, who lobs an 8 on in, but ultimately he again will be forced to save the op. So 7-3 UCF Knights. A historic first half for them. They elected to start on the T side. Keep that in mind. This was due to their own choices, and it's worked out miraculously for them. 7-3, they lead, and they've got a stellar first half, and they've got even more to build off of going into the second half of their CT side.
Well, yeah, the thing is that UCSC, I mean, this round was a bit of a save around the rifles that they've had saved. Sayo will still have these AWP going into the next round, and UCF's built a bit of a bank on a couple of players, but UCSC, they haven't really, I mean, we're already 11 rounds into the game, Sully, and they haven't had a true full buy yet because of they keep losing these rounds. They haven't had the Molotovs they need to stop these upper hits. They don't have the smokes that they need to counter the control, or the Molotov to counter the outside control that UCF's been throwing. Now that they finally have all of this, this is where the true test comes. But how far are they out of it mentally at this point? You got to wonder. You're already down this much on the favored side of the map that you picked in a best of 5 where you already had a map advantage and now you have to come away with anything.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the pregame, despite what the score says, 2-1, it should be 2-0 because UCF Knights, they haven't allowed a single map between these two teams. They were given that one map just because they came from the upper bracket, but UCF Knights, they don't care. They swat it away, and because they know they're the better team and they're battling their hearts out. They've put in the work clearly. They've demo reviewed, they've practiced, they've DM'd, they've done everything required to get their hands on that $20,000 back. Solo towards outside, looks to do some damage. I don't like this angle, though. Fury, Og in his hand. Can he mow down players? He's missed everything. A calamity as Blue Sky capitalizes on his mistakes. He even doubles downs. Blue Sky with 2 kills already in the round to open it up. And a third from Char.
That's a tilter.
1 by 1, they fall as UCSC 2 versus 4 with Sayo's 1 kill. There's not much left to say in this round as the Knights will have the half at their fingertips. 8-3 guaranteed as UCSC back away and should be saving whatever they can get away with in this round.
They save 2 rifles they can buy into the next, so that'll be one saving grace here. But yeah, you've already conceded the half. UCF are rolling, and it's hard to stop. I mean, they are playing confidently as ever. That kill from Char to sneak through the ramp smoke and catch a player looking the wrong way there, that's just, you know, that's salting the wound at that point. The fact that Fury's unable to get anything, a bit of an off angle, chose to play with the AUG, doesn't aim down the sights of it, is trying to spray back and forth. The slower rate of fire hurts him a little bit there. There's just a lot of question marks for UCSC right now. And UCF, they are taking every opportunity given to them to continue to distance themselves in this series. And the fact that they haven't lost a map yet, this is, you know, they're feeling confident. They know that the series is 2-1, but they took overpass. You know, that was a heartbreaking game for UCSC. That's a game that's going to affect the mental of any player at any level. I think a lot of even pro players would say that they would rather lose a map like 16-3 than to go through a heartbreaking 16-14 loss. To know that you got that close, you got to a 1v1 with a lit player and lost, you know, like it's tough. It's tough stuff for UCSC. They've got to dig deep here.
Yeah, not even to mention that last round was an eco for UCF. They had 1 op, and it was the hands of Chill Dan, and that's what turned the tides back. This is 1-5-7 play towards the bathrooms. That's even more of a heartbreak, knowing that one single check to the left, if they turned their mouses to the left, if they did a 180, they would have seen it. They could have had that round. And that's what's even more heartbreaking. Yes, it was 16-14, but the fact that you could have done one small adjustment and you could have had it. You could have had overtime, but no. Here we are. UCSC know what's at stake. $20,000 on the line. $10,000 isn't meager, but they want the sum total. Blue sky reigns supreme, but still Shike is up above, and Shike is what still stands strong. 8-4 UCF Knights. Plenty of cash, kind of triple op setup from the UCSC Giants. What are they planning with this triple op? Normally I'm comfortable with a double op, but triple op, that's when things I get a little bit, I question it just a tad bit.
Again, another one of those things where if it goes wrong, it's like, what are you doing? But if it goes right, you look like a genius. 5 ops on Havu, it worked one time, and all of a sudden it's a meme forever. So we'll see. Chilled Den takes down the first of 3. Sayo looking for another pick. He'll fall. That's 2 of 3 down. 2 ops dealt with. And an important round, too. 1 drops down the vents. There's the 3rd op. It's gone. Just like that. UCF dismantles the defense of Slug Gaming. UCSC on the back foot here. They do get 1 consolation frag towards outside. His backs has located one of these players that cost him his life to do so, but the upper bomb site falling earlier will mean that won't have too much an effect on the outcome of this round. Fury looking potentially to save. He's going to nade Childen. That might kill him. Oh no, Childen sneaks through the door. That was almost a dangerous round there. His accomplice is going to pick up 1 of the dropped AWPs. Maybe they don't want that many going into the next round. 2, okay. 3, You see kind of the downside of that.
Yeah, I was wondering what they wanted to do with the triple op, and clearly what they wanted to do was not what was needed to be done to win the round. So 9-4 UCF Knights. Again, I'm going to go back to it. Confident first half. They lead by 5 rounds at the moment. A guaranteed 3 lead advantage going into that second half. And just based on the way they're playing, it looks like we've got more in store. UCSC struggling to find any footing in the later stages of this first half. They need to make this salvageable. Make it 9-6, although it's not the best. It's what it can be. It's what they can make. They make the most of a bad situation is what I'm trying to get at. UCSC, they're hoping to get these last 2 rounds. Double op this time, no triple op. Johan and Sayo hold them both. We've seen both of these players utilize that op before. Both players phenomenal with the op, but I don't know. The way they're playing right now, it does give me a little bit of a worry. Accomplice, though, will open things. Finding a first headshot onto Char takes him down, and still no resistance from UCSC towards outside. Full control given to the UCF Knights as they ready themselves to take an A crunch once more. It's been a very common theme from them. Split towards outside, compress in towards the inner bomb site or the upper bomb site, and just annihilate your opponent's backs. Has a player on his back. They're ready to charge on in towards Mini. Now here it comes, a smoke. They launch the onslaught here. Can they get the opening, though? The op doesn't spot much. Fury gets the kill, but again, the trade's back and forth. 2 versus 3. Johan's on fire. 2 in his back pocket. He's got the 3rd as well. Johan slows it all down, puts it into perspective, and gives UCSC their 5th round and what will be the last round of this first half. The Knights looking for double digits, but UCSC again looking for that 6th round to end it on a high note.
Well, UCF, they do have a buy into this one. The double op setup worked a lot better than the triple, and that's good news for UCSC. I mean, they take the 6th round. They're certainly not out of it. It's not a horrible hand to be dealt. I mean, obviously you'd want to win the half on your CT side on a map like Nuke, but still a lot of CS left in this 3rd map of our CSL 2020 Grand Final. Shike gets the first outside. Rascal falls as well. Johan with the op gets 2, and now they're coming alive. The Slugs have started to slide. Here we are. This is now a 6th round poised for them. It's just chilled Dan over towards the ramp, and he's about to meet the scope of Sayo. Looks like he'll be able to take him out. Sayo, patient as ever, will find that kill, and a 9-6 half favoring the UCF Knights. They are looking very, very solid heading into this pistol round, one that I think UCSC needs to have. The fact that UCSC picked this map, that is the saving grace here. They picked Nuke. They obviously have something in mind. The same reason they picked Vertigo those weeks ago, they had something in mind for it. They had a great idea of how they wanted to play the map. We didn't know how UCF was going to look, and UCF looked pretty good on Nuke here. So there's a lot of head games to be played with these vetoes for sure. You could maybe read into it as far as saying UCF prepared for Nuke knowing UCSC would pick it. That's how that side looked to me. That maybe I'm reading way too far into it, but then again, that is my job to do so. So here we are, 9-6, UCF Knights versus UCSC in the CSL Grand Finals. Make sure you type !CSL Finals 20 in the chat to get yourself a chance to win a HyperX Cloud Alpha S headset.
Ooh, big round for them. UCF Knights poised to take the A bombs, are poised to hold on to it, but Shike has got other plans. Shike is demolishing them one by one. They go. The slugs have begun to slide, and they've slid over the UCF Knights' dead bodies. 9-7, UCSC. A fast pistol round. You said they needed that to kickstart them, get the fire burning beneath their wings, or kickstart their fires. UCSC 7-9. The pistol round goes by in a blur. UCF Knights now relegated to just sit back on just pistols. What a fast round they are. UCSC, they needed the pistol round to have a chance in this matchup, and well, they've got it. The comeback is underway. All aboard the train is UCF Knights with only USPs stand no chance against the rifles and the SMGs of UCSC.
Chilled Dan tapping away outside looking for some information. Bax goes for an adventure and meets the wrong end of that UMP from Seo, who should have access to this upper bomb site. He'll, of course, do it a little bit carefully. It's hard to tell that there's nobody there. Oh, Blue Sky through the smoke. He gets one. That's a fact in chat right there.
Yeah, Blue Sky still
He gets
spraying
a little bit more
US.
damage.
Does a tad it onto Johan, but I don't think it's going to amount to much because the smoke is dissipating, and Blue Sky's, he's an exhibit. They're watching him, they're looking at him, and then they say, okay, we'll take him out of his misery. Fury will take Chilled Den. Is obviously a gush to be had. Fury tagged down to 17. Can they do any more damage, though? That's the question. Char's got a UMP to play with and a UMP to throw at them. It doesn't look like there's going to be much damage done because up above Johan will take it 9-8. UCF Knights, or UCF Knights, they have a buy available, but again, it's always these second round buys after the pistol when you're the CT side that the buy isn't strong. They've picked up an AUG and a bunch of M4s. They don't have a lot of utility to them. That's what concerns me the most. They've got a maximum 3 smokes and a couple of flashes and that 1 HE, but ultimately UCF Knights don't have much to work with. UCSC have got a very confident round as the Knights tried to do some damage here. Yes, they have the firepower, but they don't have that utility to keep them at bay. And that was a big part of, that's almost a big part of any CT defense. So Nuke is utilizing utility to force your opponents into a chokehold, whether that be lobby, whether that be ramp, or even towards outside. As UCF Knights, what have they got in store for us in this one?
We'll have to see. I mean, they've staved the attack for now, but they've spent a lot of their utility in doing so, and they're in a similar situation to their opposition. Oh, Accomplice winning the duel against Rascal, who had the off angle with his AUG. And Chilled Den, he's kind of low too. He can't really stick around. He overstays his welcome and loses his life because of it. Now Char in shadow has to go massive. This is one of those positions. Oh, he's going to shoot first, ask questions later. He gets 3, looking for 4. He's done enough to give Blue Sky a chance in this one. He'll take down the upper lurk. That was Johan. And Blue Sky falls down the vents. Shike has heard the sound cue. He's going to move over towards the double doors and try to walk through. Blue Sky's already ready for it, though. Shike may be over. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. He either overthought or underthought that. Either way, it's going to be Blue Sky to clutch it out.
He was thinking 6 head, but, you know, Blue Sky was thinking 7 head, I guess. Well, 9-8, now 10-8. Well done to the Knights there to recover that round. Still, though, money it's up in the air at the moment. UCSC, plenty of cash. Once more, the bomb plants have given them so much to work with, and it's so much easier to build a bank account on that T side of any map, basically, because the T side economy is the same. But UCF Knights, the buy isn't the best. Obviously, it could be a lot worse. I mean, they've got decent sets of utility, almost 4 complete sets. Char's the only one that only has 1 grenade, and that's a smoke. So they've got 2 M4s, 1 AK, and 2 scrappy MP9s, and 1 scout. Can they get it done, though? Bax, the MP9 isn't necessarily a bad option. When you get close range, I mean, Nuke is a map with a lot of close-cut corners. You walk around, you never know if there's an XM in your face. You never know if there's an AK, M4, and MP9 there waiting. So the MP9, I would consider basically a rifle in this scenario. UCF Knights, take things slow, though. UCSC as well. They're trying to open things up. Neither team really willing to give themselves up early on. They're hoping that one or the other falls into a trap that they've set up, maybe get a little bit too aggressive, and that might be the case here. Snipe takes a lot of damage, but does get the kill regardless. One more bullet, and he would have gone down as the UCF Knights drop a man early on, but still sit comfortably on their sites. They're waiting for UCSC to walk into the trap. 2 players towards the A-bomb site, 2 players towards ramp, and there's not a lot of commotion happening. Char might get a little bit investigated. The Molotov does force the swing. He'll get the equalizer, make it a 4-on-4 now as they start to walk onto the A-bomb site. Shike tosses a smoke, does obscure the vision from anyone. Mini, the missed shot from Chill Dan, does cost them some space. It costs them some time, but Blue Sky and Char have got other plans in store because they take down 3, and now Fury is left in the clutch. A 1 versus 4, but surely the 11th round for the Knights. An abysmal economy built back up for UCSC. There's nothing for them in the upcoming round as the Knights take the 11th, and UCSC have got a lot of rebuilding and a lot of thinking to do for the next one.
UCSC going to be on pistols in this one. That's going to give UCF a 4-round buffer over their opponents and just 4 rounds away from that $20,000 grand prize. Now, this is as much a task for UCSC to keep their heads in the game as it is for UCF not to get clouded vision here. They've still got to take themselves over the finish line. It's, UCSC is not an easy opponent to play against, and at any moment they can definitely turn on the Jets. Looks like it'll just be nade open door, deagles across the board, many players towards outside, looking for those long-range fights with those pistols that they've invested in. Not too much into this round, of course. Chilled Dan on the off angle is going to spot one. He'll take down Fury. Now looking for Johan. He'll get him as well. Shike's up top. And, Chilled Dan wants that too. Nice tap. Chilled Dan, he's awake. He's making up for those missed scout shots in a big way. Baxka's walking through the smoke. Now UCF, you can see the confidence is flowing through their veins. They're looking for one of these last 2 players. Sayo had lurked out behind this box. Rascal's got to be careful because he can get pinched in pretty quickly here. He knows that the help from Bax is coming. And Bax is going to hear one hop right through the smoke, recover the AK. He's going to look for Accomplice, who's just close to him. And Rascal escapes with his life. So more money in the bank for UCF. They're looking very strong right now.
And the hardest thing about any CT side is building up that bank, but UCF Knights, they've done a perfect job of building that bank account up. They haven't been playing risky. When they have the advantage, they're not hunting. They're waiting for their opponents to walk into them instead. And UCF Knights, poised to take the $20,000 at this point in time. 12-8, they're looking to seal the deal now. With 5 8Ks, minimal utility for UCSC. It's been a little bit of a struggle in these later rounds, and they're hoping to maybe turn the tides as UCF Knights still 4 rounds away from that $20,000. They can taste it. They can smell it. It's at their fingertips, but it just eludes them for the time being. UCSC doing everything in their power to prevent that from happening, to send us to the 4th and final map is their goal. But the way they're playing it doesn't look likely. Tick goes in. Chilldan's got the sound cue. He's spraying away, looking for damage. Minimal damage done on to him. 78 points of HP, but still no utility for him to play with, and he's got to dance with his life. He's playing it safe at the moment, but a single wrong step could lead to his death. As Sayo, look at how far he's crept towards outside. Sayo gets the second kill. UCF Knights, in a matter of seconds, have crumbled to just 3 players, now 2, as Shike continues the spray, even looking for more, as now the flank comes in, but how much can it do? Rascal and Char to do it all, and Char can't get anything started. Rascal left in a 1-on-4. He'll be forced to save the AK, and UCSC temporarily keep their feet in this match, keep their heads above water, and have themselves their 9th round.
Now just cutting the deficit to 3. A big round coming up for them here. Rascal with 2. All of a sudden, UCSC's got to be careful. They were trying to hunt this weapon off of him, but the rebuys that are going to be necessary here with that bomb plant and the explosion of it, it should lead to still a decent buy for them. But UCF, they've definitely got one in their pockets as well. Next round going to be very important for how the rest of this map plays out. It's just going to be a matter of resolve at this point. We see that UCSC was able to play the waiting game long enough there. They just waited for that mini player, Chilled Dan, to initiate the contact, and they had the bodies and numbers in place to shut him down and execute onto that ace site. Sayo's lurk outside, very powerful as well. So now we see, okay, Johan's going to be on a Galil. Not that it's going to matter too much. They still got a decent amount of utility on both sides. Again, both teams, though, they're spent.
They're on the edge Money gone for UCF Knights with that investment. Chill Dan will open things up. Spray from Accomplice. Trades things back here. He's looking for more. Chill Dan caught out in the open. Goes down. Blue Sky and Shike exchange each other's numbers. And now it's 2-on-3 as they've descended to the lower bombs. Had a quick rotation called in here. But how fast can it get here? Bax and Char now have to do it all to give them the 13. The Bax goes for a risky peek, but it's paid dividends. And there's even a flank coming in now from Char. He gets the bomb down. It's now on Deseo, and Bax is a 5 that he's aware. Heads up gameplay, 13-9. UCF Knights recover that in stellar fashion. 2 versus 3, and they still get it done. Money has gone for UCSC, and UCF Knights are poised to take those $20,000, 3 rounds between them and the big chunk of change that'll go into their pockets if they can get it done.
Bax is a smoke criminal. A couple times now he's walked through a smoke and unsuspectingly taken down a member of Slug Gaming. Now towards outside with just a hero AK on Shike. Staring 14 rounds down in the face on an unfavored side of Nuke. Shike's already into Mini. He's looking for a pick onto that A-bomb site. Fury's taking some damage. Shike falls. Bax wins the duel. Blue Sky as well, getting 2. And Shield Dan finding the lurk. This is crumbling for UCSC. UCF just 2 rounds away from being crowned your CSL 2020 Grand Finals champions here in CSGO. They've put on a show for us. They've battled back from the lower bracket. They've fought hard against this team twice in the past and failed. Is today the day that they finally prevail?
What a story it would have been as well. They weren't the favorites at all. Can they get it done, though? UCSC, the 2019 or the 2018 through 2019 champions, look to do it back-to-back, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen at all. UCF Knights looking to do something, looking to hold them back. UCSC, though, will kick things off with the first. 15 rounds is the goal. A Chill Dan peeks his head above Secret, doesn't take a single bullet, doesn't take a bit of damage, but still manages to kill Rascal, though. So much on his plate, I don't even know if he can chow down out with utensils he's been given. UCSC, though, starting to get into it. Rascal takes down the first. How many more can he get, though? He's dancing around. He's managed 2 kills, and that's big. 2 players left with this B-bomb site retake. Is difficult for UCF, no matter who the players are. The B-bomb site is a struggle. They hold on just a little bit. Accomplice wants to get something more. Thankfully, he did that because he wouldn't have gotten it as Char falls. Accomplice gets that kill, and now that's going to signal for the A-bomb site rotation. Footsteps above. Accomplice makes so much noise, but now they know. Chill Dan and Bax to try and get it done, but they can't find it in them to get that kill. Chill Dan now in a 1 versus 2. Can he do it? Nade goes in, might finish a player off here on 12 points of HP. Accomplice barely still stands, but Chill Dan, heads up gameplay from him. 1 versus 1 now, but it's not meant to be, as Johan denies it. 14-10. UCSC keep themselves in it and keep UCF off of match and series point.
These games are so close. Every single round becoming a nail biter. Shield Dan will have enough for his AWP. He's missed a couple of shots in the last couple rounds that could have potentially sealed the deal for his team, but he'll have another chance again here. Accomplice, though, he's really impressing me for being the new kid on the block. He's had a lot of big rounds, and he's playing with poise in these big moments. Shike, he overlooks the blue bin, and Blue Sky shuts him down as Shike tries to get into the A site quick. Speed is the name of the game, but it is a pain for UCSC. It'll cost them 2 lives to get into the A bomb site, and a very possible retake from the CTs here as they're already rotated in close. Mini's been smoked off. Blue Sky has taken some damage. Chill Dan, if not given a pick, he will be given one. He's got a shot here now. 2-on-3. I don't see them not going for this. He's got to be careful. Accomplice is up close. He reads the smoke play. Chill Dan looking for the kill. He'll take him down. There's 1 player left. And Chill Dan with 3 huge retake frags. 1 round away is UCF.
1 round off of championship. The title is in their hands. 1 round away from dethroning UCSC. The monster that's been under their bed. They've lost 2 best-of-3s. This was not easy for them. The UCF Knights have battled and brawled to get to this point. It's a scrappy bye of all things to the T's as well. It's hopeless but not done yet. UCSC They're famed for the inevitable comebacks. They're famed for the last second showings. And this is where they need to come up big. UCF, though, strong by UCSC, however, though, even weaker. What can they make of it? Quick split in towards the mini, in towards the hut. Now they go, but Char annihilates two. Fury gets the trade back. Rascal from beneath the fence. It's Chilled Dan who tops it all off. It's one man standing, and he doesn't stand for long. Johan should get the kill. If not, it has to be Chilled Dan. Rascal. It's one man that stands, and no longer UCSC are no longer the reigning champions. UCF have dethroned and decrowned and have gotten themselves the title of the CSL 2020 champions.
Wow, what a couple of games from these guys. That was huge. How's it going, man? How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm so happy. We've literally never beat them in a series, and to do it at the best time, it's perfect. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's awesome,
Yeah.
man. It's good. I got to ask you guys a couple of questions. So, we weren't sure because it was hard for us to see on the veto process. Did you guys pick T side on Nuke?
Yeah, we picked T-side on Nuke. That's Char, by the way.
You guys picked T side, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, so you guys knew what you wanted to do there, and that is a statement, if anything. Of course, again, also looking back at Vertigo, did you guys go back and watch the TikTok Cup Grand Finals and see what you could do better? Like, what were the adjustments like that you guys made that gave you that edge?
To be honest, we've played them a bunch, right? And then until the TikTok Cup, it's always been like insanely close. And I think that day we really just had an off day. Like our confidence was super low, and so we didn't let it get to us because we know we're just as good as them. And so we like obviously like tried to figure out like what our mistakes were and stuff, and we just like went from it because I know like in particular we tried to like take more early B aggression down stairs on CT side because in the TikTok Cup we just were getting destroyed whenever they came B because we had no information. So yeah, we definitely were more ready.
Awesome. And yeah, I have one final question for you before I hand you off to Sully here. So take me through your head in the big round that you had on Overpass there on the CT side, or was it just a blur? Did it just kind of come to you kind of massively at the end there, dancing around the smoke, getting a bunch of huge frags, clutching it out?
Oh, are you saying when I was in pit or when I was in graffiti?
Yeah, you jumped over the smoke into the site, and then somehow
that round
you
was
lived
chaotic.
all your teammates.
I jumped over the smoke, I got a kill, and then I was like dancing in between the bridge smoke for like ever, and I was just like so confused on like where they were, and I was like, why haven't they come out yet? I was just lost. But then I don't know, they just kept running into my crosshair. I don't know.
Well, one of those things that just kind of happens. You got to be good to be lucky. You got to be lucky to be good. You guys are the champions. It was a great pleasure watching you guys play. As always, congratulations from me. And Sully, you got any questions for our guy here?
No real questions. I mean, I just got one. You guys are now the champions of CSL. You've dethroned UCSC. What are your plans going into the next season? Are you planning to stick with the core? Are you planning to do any roster changes? I mean, what's going on for the 2020-2021 season?
So unfortunately, we're losing Char and Childan because they're both like graduating soon. So it's going to be me, Rascal, and Bax, and we're going to rebuild, find 2 new players, hopefully bring it back next year.
Well, congratulations. You guys heard it here from the man, Blue Sky. He is now the 2020 CSL champion. Congratulations. Happy to have you here, and hopefully you have a great time with that $20,000.
Thank you.
If you did enjoy the casting, follow us on Twitter at SillyCast and at CrackshotTV. Make sure you also hit up at StarLeague on Twitter. We'll see you guys sometime next season.